Hello and welcome everybody to Prism Break 11. My name is Malieve, pronouns they, she, and joining me on the mic is Ideas. Hello!
Hello everybody, it's great to be back here for another Prism Break. Going to be getting into our first set pretty soon actually. I'm pretty excited. Malieve, it's always great to calm with you because I love to hear what you have to tell me about these teams coming up, and I'd like to know if you have anything interesting to tell me about these teams we have right here.
Well, I do know that Wavebreaker has been quite a regular in a lot of these Prism Break events. And I'm not sure I've seen too much of Free Flow, though that could just be me as it wants to be.
I can definitely remember seeing a couple of games from Wavebreaker before, and I can attest to have playing a little bit, watching Free Throw play, and I'm very excited to get into this first game on Splatoon's Barnacle and Dime here. Something that I always love to see from both these teams, especially into these early games, is seeing these weapon comps and just what weapon they're gonna run, how you can kind of already get an idea for what their game plan is, and going coolerless on the side of Wavebreaker, very interesting to see.
I do know that just a little bit ago we did see a handful of players participate in the Insane tournament, and oftentimes during that event a lot of Tacticooler was banned. It's possible that a few players or teams saw some ideas from there, and maybe they're practicing them, exploring further what a meta without, or a team composition without Tacticooler might be like. But as it currently stands, doesn't seem to be working out too well for them, as Free Flow has taken the lead, definitely with the help from the Tacticooler and just some very effective pressure going in here.
Yeah, as we see them just getting a really aggressive spot here, the bubble giving them a lot of space to push up with and really push Free Throw Black, giving them more time to get this zone, getting the flip, getting the penalty and everything. JJ back here, getting the hammer off, just securing and stalling them out even longer, while Free Flow on the back is able to clean up everybody else and get them right back into this really aggressive position, just not as far as they had it previously, with the cooler just letting them get back in very quick, as we saw there.
Indeed, it definitely grants a lot of control, a lot of protection, and just a lot more freedom to be able to move about, or more freedom in being aggressive with your plays and make pushes that you might not see otherwise, similar to the Ink Armor or the Bubbler from the previous Splatoon iterations. Wavebreaker had that little bit of a break, but they are struggling to push back in, trying to farm up some special, really need something to give them a chance to get in, but they can't even break through the Decavitator with just the amount of pressure going on here. And within a few moments, we might be seeing the first game already closed out.
With the very last seconds, with the bubble going up, putting the zone back into corner, but Free Flow is able to clean it up and secure the game 1 dub just like that, with that really aggressive comp. The double swords just really doing a lot to control so much space. As you noted, it was just very hard for Wavebreaker to really get back in, even with their specials, because of that bubble they had. But both teams showing... I'm so sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. They definitely had, like, the two swords, just a lot of pressure. The big bubbler just giving a lot of control on that center field, making it really good and a lot easier to kind of just force Wavebreaker to have to come to them, especially with Wavebreaker not necessarily having that many answers, or just not having the specials charged up to be able to land and secure those kind of punishes that they might have been looking for otherwise. On top of that, Bubbler can be a really scary thing when the things that are sitting in the Bubbler are two different swords. You're like, oh, I gotta get into the bubble to take them out, and you walk into the bubble, and then they just throw a charged swing at you. You don't even get a fight in that kind of situation.
Yeah, and it's just that's something that you love to see, especially on weapons like sword, like roller, who just want to be pushed into and having the ability to really tell the enemy like, hey, come here, come on. You know you have to deal with me because I'm going to be an issue for your team entirely, as we saw with JJ, I believe, behind with Hammer out and just didn't allow them to push back in, even having a numbers advantage. Just was not good enough because of how much space you're able to obtain just using Splatoon as a whole.
Indeed.
A very good first set for Free Flow. Getting into Humpback RM, I have a lot to say about this map. So much, I don't think I would be allowed to even begin speaking about it, but I'd love to know if you have anything to say about this.
I personally find it to be a really cool stage. I like it's just it looks really pleasing. It is definitely a little bit of an adventure to try to traverse. It's very the outer ring is very much set as that outer ring. And if you go into the inner heart part, it can be there's a couple of ways to get back to that outer ring, but once you're in, you're kind of in, and you've got to lock in and try to make whatever plans you want to work there. When Rainmaker is added into that mix, there's a lot of situation. If I remember correctly, we'll have to see when we get onto the field, but it is a little bit more flexible than standard humpbacks, which definitely is going to be important for Rainmaker considering how aggressive it tends to be. You don't want to have to go halfway across the map just to be able to continue advancing.
And as you mentioned, it is very aggressive focus. Like it just very heavily leans. So seeing this more aggressive comp coming out from the side of Free Flow here, with Wavebreaker keeping the same comp, neglecting to take the cooler still, a very brave choice, I believe. But will it pay out for them in a map like this where it's a lot smaller? Having cooler can be a lot more negligible and just kind of not necessarily feel as necessary in another mode like zones where you got to really focus on getting back in quickly. And just in this mid fight already, we did see Free Flow get the pop and able to gain a lot of space up here, but unfortunately going one down and getting 2 picks for Wavebreaker, the decav, cleaning them up though, getting 2 as well, painting up and going for a check very early on, just running it there and getting it through.
Very quick and effective, taking advantage of just a lot of Wavebreaker got taken out, and they're quick to recover now, but I mean, the checkpoint has already been reached. Future attempts will be a lot easier for Free Flow moving forward. They don't even have to go to either checkpoint. They can just gun it to the end, where Wavebreaker still needs to be able to find that checkpoint. They need to get advantage first. They need advantage first to get to the Rainmaker, and then they can think about trying to get to a checkpoint.
Speaking of advantage, we do see that Wavebreaker is able to find a numbers advantage just for a short second as Free Flow gets 2 picks, just having to deal with the bubble, getting a trade, running the Rainmaker straight through, just going with no regard, going for points, getting it all the way down to 10 points with only 3 minutes left on the clock, and how much pressure Free Flow has still up here, not relenting at all, and just keeping it going all the way down to 1. A very close call. Wavebreaker securing that kill they needed to get it, as we see Free Flow go down 1 by 1 and Wavebreaker clean them all up.
Oh, here comes the big bubbler. It's already been set up, or the fight's already kind of ended, so it's not necessary, or it's not going to do much here. But, I mean, we'll likely have a chance to get that charged up again in just a moment, but we do finally see the reset. Definitely see Free Flow trying to find a way to kind of push back in. They've had such good openings both of these times. I can only imagine that they're looking for another chance. That is one splat, giving them a little bit more room to kind of keep this going, especially since another Tacticooler is up. Even if Free Flow has the advantage, they're not going to be able to do much. And Free Flow is just running it to the end again. Just no respect for the match. They just want to get this over with as soon as possible.
Speaking of locking in, as you said earlier, we are seeing Free Flow lock in on this aggressive comp and just keeping it up, getting one special after the other and after the other. Just going in and trying to push as far as they can to secure this KO. Really not even allowing any stragglers to survive as they just take it slow and fast all at the same time. Really pushing and waiting for that perfect time to strike, and every time we're seeing them wait for that opportunity, and it has worked out for them as we see them get 2 picks, 3 just leaving the junior as Free Flow runs the Rainmaker in one more time. Able to push it all the way down to the check, unable to get on top, as we see here from Wavebreaker, cleaning them up once more, not letting them get that KO, keeping them back. But will the Dualies be able to do something here, being so far behind? As we do see them able to get off a couple of stragglers while the Zap cleans up this RM, allowing them to just keep on with this aggressiveness and not lose any ground here.
Indeed, indeed. I like this sneak up, this Shark coming in from the backside. A wide slash from the Decapitator can destroy an entire back line if they're not ready, and it doesn't look like they're ready as this Shark has been fully successful. We see Jay rushing to the end, trying to just get a path going, and I think they finally have secured it. That is going to be their second point against Wavebreaker. Just going to show you can have a really strong aggressive team, but if you've got Tacticooler, you're probably going to be able to be just that little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, and I think that cooler really helped them out, especially because they can just like have the moment they put that cooler up, you can just see I believe it was JJ playing Zap there. You can just see them grab the RM, and then now they have like this pseudo backline weapon almost, who's able to just be a lot more aggressive, get a lot more chip, get a lot more paint for their team, while having cooler up and still doing their role as a part of the team. And then we saw a lot of aggressive plays too, with both Parks and Blue, I believe, going behind and just really being extremely disruptive for Wavebreaker, not let them get any like chance to really slow the game down at a pace that they would be more suitable playing at, which was the defining factor in this game for Free Flow to take it 2-0.
On top of that, Jay on the Free Flow's team, really good at wielding that Rainmaker. We saw like a few splats actually because of how they were wielding the Rainmaker, and even just knowing the right moments to kind of just rush to the end as soon as the opening has been made, and just forcing Wavebreaker to constantly be on the back heel and panicking and scrambling about, just because they, even when it looked like there was an easy reclaim, Jay was able to just pull back and JJ continue to pressure with the Rainmaker.
Yeah, and I think it was honestly, I have to give credit to Wavebreaker because they were put into a very bad situation second after second and still were able to play very well-mindedly and not like just lose themselves. The second that the heavy was behind them and just had them in that like, oh, what do I do here? They were able to keep their cool and play around it, and I think that really worked out for them. Even if they weren't able to secure a more aggressive spot in that match, I think that despite not having cooler, despite not having a good opportunity to push, they still played extremely well and didn't have a moment where they were just like, this is bad, we're not. So I think both teams really did good this game.
Oh, absolutely. Wavebreaker did really good, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of them deeper into the bracket. Don't forget, this is double elimination, which means that you've got a couple of chances. You've got some room to be able to push onwards to make some progress. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Maybe we'll see them a little bit down the road. But for that, we are going to gear ourselves up for the next match, which should be in just a little bit. So we'll be back with our winner semifinals match. Stay tuned. And we are back with I Feel So Sigma facing off against Lunar Eclipse. Lunar Eclipse being a Div 5 team. Hey, Diaz, what do you make of these players? I looked at Lunar
So,
Eclipse. It looks like we've got a pretty well-rounded team there. A lot of flexibility in their units.
so when I look at this, I'm seeing that I Feel So Sigma coming in with the pickup joke name instantly tells me that they are in fact a team to look out for, and having a couple +3 players on their team, I believe. So it's definitely going to be an exciting match to watch. And getting into our BO5s for this round with Mahi Zones. I think this is very even match and will show us how much these teams have that togetherness and more coordination that you don't always see with pickups. You kind of just see like good players sometimes who are playing, but with I Feel So Sigma, I can just feel them kind of speaking to me. It's something tells me that they are not going to.
You could say that they give you a pretty Sigma feeling, eh?
They have aura. Yes, you're right. They have aura, and I can see the jawline already.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that jawline become defined, or if it's going to be dashed away by Lunar Eclipse, eclipsing them even. Let's look at these team comps. We've got Tacticooler on both sides here. Some honestly, it seems pretty tried and true for a lot of builds. Nothing too outlandish. So this is going to be a good, clean fight between these two teams.
As we are seeing, as you mentioned about team comps, something I think is a bit to note is that we are seeing the Pedit and Zekofin come out instead of just running Pencil. That is something I have seen a couple more teams do, and I always appreciate it because getting rid of that role composition that you see with Pencil in trading it for more killing potential and more paint is always going to be a joy to watch, and as we did see earlier. So I Feel So Sigma pushing them back into their spawn, getting an early lead here, using that range to their advantage. With Lunar Eclipse popping the strikes, able to force some disruption on I Feel So Sigma and really give them more of an edge to get back into the game here.
But it's not been enough. Ooh, we do. Never mind. It looks like we do have a couple of good moments to push. They do claim control, creating a nice little penalty to give them a little bit of breathing room. And they are going to be fighting to hold control of that base with some triple ink strikes. Junpei trying to escape, but not fast enough.
And there we did just see I Feel So Sigma get a couple jumps out, a couple picks, effectively giving them a wipeout. But still, you have to remember that jumping out saves your special. And with that cooler being online for I Feel So Sigma, that is going to be very helpful to get back in as we see them able to manage getting back in here, getting a couple picks here and there as they can control of the zone very early on into this game.
They have regained control. They are chewing through that penalty. Vessel out with the triple ink strike, looking to try to quickly turn things back in their control. But when the opposing team has a triple ink strike of their own to respond, it can be null and point. We have another one yet again.
And
Those
we are just
really
seeing
is
specials.
just triple ink strike, Bill.
And we did just see specials come out one after the other with multiple strikes coming out from both sides. Crabs coming out. Krakens, both teams really trying to find that last edge they needed. And we did see I Feel So Sigma able to get the edge with that crab there. The Kraken was just unable to put an end to it. Spoiling out right before they needed it. As we see both teams trade their strikes once again, just not letting the other one get any good amount of paint down, as we do see I Feel So Sigma keep holding them back with only the pencil really able to get any pushing up, but able to paint over this and get the flip, giving another penalty to I Feel So Sigma, forcing them out once again.
Lunar Eclipse with a very strong push, had one or two splats and just quickly took advantage of that with a full frontal force approach. Just all of their units were grouped up nice and together. Could have worked out really poorly if I Feel Sigma had something to answer, but in that situation, Lunar Eclipse able to recognize that they had a clean opportunity to push, took it, and was able to create that penalty. Stalling for just that little bit more time. They need a bit more than stalling, though, to really secure a lead and claim this point, as Sigma back in control, quickly eating through these penalty points, is setting up for a little bit more control. Nice catch from Lunar Eclipse, though. Back on, trying to push for this. The heavy edit, just so much momentum and pressure capable of being pulled out just because of the maneuverability, the momentum, the movement speed that you get while you have a heavy edit is just so much faster than anything you can get with the Snipe Rider.
Yeah, and I think that's really working out for them, as we see I Feel So Sigma able to just force them into their spawn, only letting them really get out whenever they have these strikes online to kind of push through and force them to degroup and really play in a worse position there. And that has been the key for both teams, honestly, just relying on these strikes to get inside and having that quicker strike output with the Zekofin just able to save them at more opportune times compared to the Bucket, who has to fight and could potentially go down. We do see I Feel So Sigma able to hold them off long enough and secure the game 1 win here.
Indeed. Sigma is really being able to utilize those triple ink strikes just that more effectively. It is really nice to use triple ink strike to claim the zone, create that penalty, create a little bit more room to kind of get that momentum back in your going. But it's just not nearly as effective as being able to just throw out a triple ink strike when you're in the lead and telling them, nah, you just gotta wait another minute before you can actually push. Make them wait enough minutes, the game's over.
And that definitely was a key factor in I Feel So Sigma's game plan here. Just truthfully going in there, getting a hold and not getting too aggressive. Just even whenever they had Cooler online, they still elected to play more passively and force Lunar Eclipse to stay on their plat, but still push into them.
It definitely helps
noted,
that Tacticooler, not only does it allow you to respawn really quickly with your super, it also means that you're going to be able to just have better movement speed while you're on the field. You run faster, you swim faster, you just become a much better combatant, and you can utilize Tacticooler not only for being hyper aggressive, but just controlling neutral on the field.
yeah, it's just an incredible advantage to have over the other team, especially if they do not have their Cooler online when they're going to need it the most. And it played such a huge factor in here for I Feel So Sigma to really secure that win there. But getting into our game 2 situation with Undertow RM, this is a map that personally I have always enjoyed playing. It makes Undertow finally feel playable, in my opinion, which is always a joy because I love when more maps are playable.
It's got a really nice path over when you to the left as well that just makes up for a really fun push, and it's pretty interesting on the defensive side as well, just because you're forced to, if you take the left route, you are forced down a narrow hallway to push towards the end, but at the same time it just leads to a really chaotic, but from what I've grown to understand, it's pretty good for those who are being offensive, especially since it's so far away from spawn compared to the closer checkpoint that a lot of players might want to go to. It's just a lot easier to actually push from that direction.
And speaking of pushing, we are already seeing I Feel So Sigma going in, dodging the Zuka, and getting through that left check extremely early on, just getting that one pick they needed in the beginning to gain a lot of momentum here and get a very early game push with the VAC coming out, allowing them to score even more points, just running it through, not stopping at all as we see a couple members go down. But I Feel So Sigma securing a wipeout, having the hammer up, and just getting the last point. The Zekofin securing a very crucial splat as we see them regain some room, just running through there, trying to get it.
You see, I Feel Sigma trying to sneak up there. Just a cheeky little stealth attempt was going to be floundered there. And just now it's Lunar Eclipse's turn to try to make a counter push, going up onto the high ground just so that Rainmaker is in a nice defensive spot. Much harder to be able to take out. Trying to look for a chance to start pushing.
Yeah, and it was just, as we saw there, an incredible push early on. As you mentioned, the left push just giving you a lot of aggression, and then we saw the coordination of those specials coming out. Really gave it up as we see the hammer get a double and stop the Rainmaker from getting taken on that check.
They were so close to getting that up there, but the tower just was not painted enough. You saw them struggling to climb, just begging to get up there as the Stamper just runs up from behind.
It can definitely be painful, especially with these RM checks where sometimes you'll look at it, it's fully painted, and it just doesn't let you climb up. It doesn't let you do anything. We are seeing the Kraken come out once again to force this Rainmaker to move around as Droid is able to pick off the RM, slowing down I Feel So Sigma just enough for them to regroup and get some more aggressive players in position here. Really allowing both teams to play a little bit more stalemating and kind of into these 1v1s fights as we see a direct come out and giving a couple picks for Lunar Eclipse, able to force everybody out. We do see there is someone sneaking behind on I Feel So Sigma, the Charger just staying behind, able to get everything painted up on the right side and get 2 picks off of it just like that. 3 picks into the wipeout. And we are seeing the effects of being behind and just not looking at the enemy gamers. As a wise man once said, the enemy can't kill you if they're not looking at you. And with I Feel So Sigma popping the VAC once more, trying to run through the strike, just too much to handle. But with the pop, letting them keep up this aggression as they just keep running it through over and over again. The hammer coming out with I Feel So Sigma, trying to keep it going, getting 2 picks and just keeping this aggression up the whole time as the Zap sneaks through and secures that KO for I Feel So Sigma to take game 2. An incredible game from both teams. Just I Feel So Sigma not relenting, never giving up any of that aggression, continuously keeping that flank open. Despite the time it takes to get there, they ran through it multiple times. The Brush able to just run right on through, playing a big factor in them getting that KO.
Lots of really patient play from Sigma as well. Just Like, really solid plays from Junpei, yeah, with the Stamper, just getting those final few trades, creating that little bit of an opening to be able to work through. But the big play here especially was just waiting it out, the Charger just finding a nice little corner to wait in as Lunar Eclipse finally secured an advantage, finally starting to try to make some kind of push, and then Charger just, their backs are completely exposed, unaware of this massive threat, and three cheap pokes right there. No effort required. You just point, shoot, they're gone. Bing, bam, bada, bang. And we've got another point for Ifioso Sigma, now at 2-0 with some very, very effective plays there.
Yeah, they are just really keeping Lunar Eclipse on that defensive back end throughout each of these matches here, not really giving them too much time to get aggressive. I think that is really working out in Ifioso Sigma's favor here. Just being able to control the speed of the game at a switch of a dime almost, at how fast they're just going from passive to aggressive to defensive play, where they're not even having to do too much defensive play here. Even with the one push we had seen from Lunar Eclipse getting it all the way to the check, the Stamper just came through and said, no, you're not going to get up there. It's not painted. You're not going all the way from mid, even having to retreat just to secure that. Getting into tower control Hagglefish here. This is a map that is very heavily favored towards your defenses. If you're able to hold that tent on the left side here, it will make or break getting through these early checks here. With both teams, the Charger going all the way up, as we see Lunar Eclipse fighting for their life, going down one, getting a favorable trade in their opinion, getting two more as they push all of Ifil Sigma out one by one, just like that, and early on, allowing them to get a very aggressive spot. But with the cooler on the side of Ifioso Sigma, it is just not enough, allowing Lunar Eclipse to force them into the defensive side here.
If only they had been able to get that tactic cooler out, this might have been a completely different story, but got up onto the tower, was still just didn't have enough time to process what had happened, and one last surviving player was able to quickly take him out, and just the momentum that they had managed to secure and set up with like very effective plays, essentially getting 3 splats in a row, just completely gone in the water, and now they're fighting to hold their ground, successfully defending for now, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a long-held defend, as Ifioso Sigma still definitely in their base, contending a lot of ground, controlling a lot of space and pressure.
You're just seeing Ifioso Sigma run in with this cooler, pop a special, and then get a pick and die, and just go back in and do it all over again. On a mode like Tower, it can work out for you. If you're able to just get that one pick you need while you're stalling out to get points on the board, it can be all that matters. And as we see the Blaster able to find a pick there right before going down, just furthering more on that get a pick, go down, go back in, repeat mindset that we see. Ifioso Sigma going for, just getting forced out by Lunar Eclipse, finally able to get some ground here and force them off into the back end, just getting this trade here and allowing for Lunar Eclipse to be in a much more advantageous position. Unfortunately, they do go down to the Charger, able to find a couple key picks there.
They're getting a lot of really solid trades, but they're just, whenever they're getting these trades, it's when the Tacticooler was up, and so the entire team of Sigma immediately recovers, gets back on the push, and then just the second trade fight doesn't work out as well for Lunar Eclipse, and all of a sudden Sigma's just in the lead, controlling the field, continuing to keep up their pressure.
Yeah, and we just, as you see there, we just see them, Ifioso Sigma going in with that special, going in with that cooler, finding a pick, and then just coming back in, getting a jump, and then just playing perfectly safe once more. We do see Lunar Eclipse push in and start to really get that cleanup they need to force Ifioso Sigma back and give them more chances to push in with Cooler online for them, giving them a very aggressive spot as they let this tower just ride up normally. Having to wait on that is really going to be a downside for them, though, because that gives a lot more time for I Feel So Sigma to get what they want to be, get their specials that they want to have, and just be prepared for this push in here. We do see the Kraken going in deep, killing off the Blaster, as we are able to start getting points on the board for Lunar Eclipse, pushing into this first check here, only needing to get past the second check halfway to start getting the lead here.
This heavy Eddie doing some phenomenal pressure here. Just the entire team kind of working really effectively. We've got a good no-you right there with the triple ink strike on the tower, making sure that it's nice and protected for Lunar Eclipse to keep pushing. But it's not enough, as I feel Sigma just barely able to push back when they're 4 points away from being able to take the lead.
A very unfortunate moment. We did just see all the members of Lunar Eclipse go down piece by piece, leaving only one you think it'd be safe to push, but with the charger online like that, you cannot just walk into an open space. It is never going to be safe if that charger is ready to just pick you off right there. And that was what is really going to be one of the key picks in this game for I Feel So Sigma, to maintain that lead here and just force them into even worse position, taking it all the way down even in the last final 20 seconds of this game, pushing them out and staying on this aggressive side here. With the Kraken able to stop this push, they need to play for overtime in order to secure the win here.
On top of that, they've got to be aware that a triple ink strike could very easily close this out. They might not even have the opportunity if someone from Sigma just so happens to see an opening. Lunar Eclipse managing to be able to hold onto the tower, does not lose it. They're making their push now, but there's so many ways that Sigma could just close this out. They're trying to go for the amp, which we've got the splashdown. It's not going to work out.
We do see the suction bomb on the tower, pushing them off, forcing them out, as we see a couple members go down from Lunar Eclipse, giving I Feel So Sigma the wipeout they need to secure Game 3 and taking this BO5 in their favor, successfully mogging Lunar Eclipse. Once again, showing off how Sigma they truly are.
They are indeed truly very, very Sigma. Some fantastic plays, really good pressure from them overall. You could see just how effectively, anytime they had that kind of momentum, any kind of advantage, they just took it and ran it. You saw that like super early in. That super jump was so good. Just getting out of harm's way, having enough time to recover while in the air, and just the other position just was that little bit unguarded enough that they got to recover and immediately go back to pushing rather than having to jump all the way back. It can be really risky, but in a situation like that, it paid off immensely.
Yeah, and we just saw amazing work from both teams. Lunar Eclipse really just playing to the best, but I Feel So Sigma playing just a little bit better at the end there. Able to get that last pick they needed and just stop them from taking Game 3. But both teams playing extremely strong, just unable to really find that edge they needed to get the game. But all of these matches were, for the most part, close in the beginning, and then we just saw a little bit of slipping, saw a lot of aggression from So Sigma that gave them that edge against Lunar Eclipse. Fortunately enough for them, they are not out, and well, with how well they played, I can definitely see them coming out of losers and taking them back into winners for the run back.
Indeed, there is still a lot of room, a lot of time for Lunar Eclipse to be able to push through in this bracket. Lots of room for a lot of teams to be able to get through. Looking forward to seeing how some of them handle things. Looking at that lower side of bracket for a brief moment. It looks like Soil Subordinate currently moving further in bracket. We've got Free Flow facing off against Triple R Remix. But yeah, there's a lot going on here, and we've got a lot more coming back. So we will be back in just one moment. And
All
we are
right.
back. Thank you all so much for your patience. We are midway through a game between Dry Tortugas National Park facing off against I Feel So Sigma. I Feel So Sigma has already taken game 1 in Barnacle and Dimes.
Yes. From what I heard, I do believe that there was one of the players was screaming that match, and it was a very exciting set to watch. A shame that we could not have watched it, but we are going to be able to watch Scorch RM. Getting into it right here, I am very excited to see more of I Feel So Sigma going against Dry Tortugas, a team who I believe is a pickup playing with a couple of players I can recognize. So it is going to be exciting to see what they bring to the field today. Getting
Indeed, there definitely seems to be a lot of good players over in Dry Tortuga's team. And yeah, I'm honestly a fan of any team that runs a decapitator, and we've got a couple of decapitator. We've got one decapitator on the field right now, so I mean my satisfaction is mildly met here. We've got a power climb already coming in from Sigma. We've got an opening.
Well, we are seeing that decav go in and get some work done. Unfortunately, they did go down, as we are seeing I Feel So Sigma just getting one clam after the other. You're hearing that ding, 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 over and over as they got all the way down to 50. Only 56 points left, with Dry Tortugas pushing back up into mid, trying to get all this ground as they manage to get up with the bubble coming out, allowing them to have a very aggressive spot. They just need the ball ready so they can start getting points on the board. With the combo coming out from Lynn, a very skillful play there, as we are unable to see the ball get put in because of the behind, as we saw with I Feel So Sigma and their tendency to have that flank play style just really disrupted Dry Tortugas from getting that ground they needed to start scoring. Even with such an aggressive hold they had, it just was not enough if you can't manage the backline at the same time.
Yeah, even more so if you're just forced to sit there and wait. The more time you're left camping a single spot, the more time the opposing team has to figure out what exactly to do to just counter your strategy, your setup. You can't hold any ground for long here without any strong tools. The big bubbler only lasts for so long, so it quickly goes down, and then you're at risk of getting sharped.
We do see Dry Tortugas having a very strong clam economy right here, with 2 powers online, with a 3rd one on deck ready to be thrown whenever. Just needs to be built. And we are seeing them secure the lead here, getting a very strong push and cycling the clams through their teammates, as we see playing very supportive and getting all these clams in for them to keep on scoring, taking it one after the other, with a lot of specials going out. We are seeing, as you mentioned, the salmon run style of teamwork here, with just clams going over and over, only needing a couple left, needing just 3 more, unable to find it, as we see the blaster secure double, stopping Dry Tortugas in their footsteps. But with a very strong lead here, it is going to sway the tides immensely.
It is now Sigma's turn to try to respond to this, as, yeah, Dry Tortugas has a massive lead. A 45-point penalty is definitely hefty, but if they can set something up like they did just previously, I can imagine it wouldn't be too hard to bring things back. But Sigma, we've got another break. We got another opening, continuing to throw in clams. We had a big football go in there. Points are quickly chipping away. Nothing is being done to respond to this, and we immediately get a near wipeout response. The wipeout in response.
What a play from I Feel So Sigma right there, getting that wipe and capitalizing off it as much as they can. They scored 60 points right there in just a short second like that, showing how fast that you can snowball in clamlets if you're ready to do so. If you have the clams to score, you can score a lot of points very fast, as we saw. And even with both teams,
it especially helps that whenever you get a clam in there, you notice that that meter is rolling down. Anytime you get a clam in, brings it back up a chunk. If it's nearly full and you got 2 or 3 clams in, it immediately fills it back up, and you've just got that much more time to keep the momentum going. So it's not like you have to get everything in within 5 seconds. If you're keeping up the pace, you can have that thing going for a good minute. Not that you'd want it to run for a solid minute.
And that is exactly what we saw here with Dry Tortugas, keeping it open for what felt like forever. As you see, they're just throwing in 1 to 2 clams over and over again to capitalize on how much time they can have it open for and make sure that they can get as many points as possible. When we saw, I believe it was up, running those clams in, getting them for their team just like that. And it was just very fortunate on the side of I Feel So Sigma to go in, get that wipeout, and secure the couple of power claims they needed to push down, break through the penalty, break through that lead, and take it all the way to a KO situation right there.
Indeed, indeed. And that is going to bring us to our next stage, Museum de Alfonso, with the Rainmaker. Dry Tortugas needs to make a really strong push here. They need to be able to start getting some kind of counter response if they want to stay on the winner's side, as I Feel So Sigma, they're looking Sigma by the game, as they have currently just been on an undefeated streak, nothing opposing them so far. And they're just looking, if they get one more win, that's going to be a clean slide up into the winter finals.
Yes, but I think that the more slower style, the more patient style we saw from Dry Tortugas is going to be a little bit more helpful here. The E-leader coming out from I Feel So Sigma, I don't believe we've seen that yet. Electing for the custom E-leader with that Kraken. 3 going on right, really getting very aggressive as 2 go down. And 3 go down, actually, on the side of Dry Tortugas, letting I Feel So Sigma get a very strong start early on into this game, effectively getting a staggered wipe as they put Dry Tortugas on the back end to really play defensively so quickly into this game with the high aggression, not letting anybody get in as the Rainmaker just starts walking through, going all the way down to 27 before Dry Tortugas is able to fully put a stop to that.
Sigma's just with it, a phenomenally aggressive. They're still going. They're still going. They got the burst. They're going to take this. They're rushing to the end, using the wall as cover, bringing it all the way up to 16. Dry Tortuga desperately trying to reclaim their own base, their own field. And I think they finally are managing to do that. No, yep, now they're good. Now they're good.
They finally got that. They saw the wipeout come on screen. They said, okay, we're good. Nobody else is going to be behind us. We don't need to keep watching for jumps and nothing else. We are finally able to recuperate and get a little bit more time on the field as we see them getting a couple picks here, fighting both teams, just trying to find that one little lead they need, just trading left and right. But a very explosive start from I Feel So Sigma is really going to put pressure on Dry Tortugas in such a quick manner, only a minute into the match, and they were already 20 points down.
Can we talk about a moment that happened? Sigma got wiped out a little bit ago, and Dry Tortuga just left the Rainmaker, made a really good push. That was all definitely really solid. But then they left the Rainmaker. I understand that there's a strategy there to just have it reset in the middle. But in the time it took for it to reset in the middle, Sigma was able to get back onto the field and start pushing again, where it was pretty much a guaranteed opportunity for Dry Tortuga, especially since they had the big bubbler drop down right at that point too. They were ready to capitalize on the opportunity. It looks like they are finally going to be able to in this moment, but I feel like they would have already had the first checkpoint like a good 30, 60 seconds ago. Can you explain to me why they didn't go for that? Or what reasons you might think they didn't?
It's definitely the safer strat because you don't put yourself in any risk there by not grabbing it and just letting it reset normally. And you keep another important thing to remember is you don't have the ability to pop your special. So if you can't use your special at all, you would want your cooler to already be online. You'd want your bubble to already be up before you're grabbing that RM. And that can play a big factor in how much space you're able to hold. And something I want to note is holding right there with that RM spot is very good for I Feel So Sigma because it is virtually impossible to safely push into that discreetly. And because of that, it is going to be a very strong spot for them to hold and play around mid here, as we are seeing them just fighting left and right, both sides trying to get the one little edge they need. Both teams just getting picks left and right. With Dry Tortugas able to push it through a little bit farther, keeping it going. 52 going in, trying to find a couple picks there. The bubble is online, so they can maintain a bit of a hold here and try and fight through how aggressive we've seen Explosive Sigma play tonight.
I feel so Sigma definitely struggling a little bit here, trying to find their own hold, and it's going to be a Rainmaker reset. Definitely not feeling like that's the best of situations for Dry Tortuga, but definitely better than giving Sigma the chance to be able to turn things around and start pushing on their own. We do get the Rainmaker. We're back on trying to push. I think they create a little bit of an opportunity, but the Brush is going to be able to pummel them down before they can make any good advancement. Oh, but here's another opportunity.
We see I Feel So Sigma grab the Rainmaker, run it just right off, and give them enough time to slow down Dry Tortugas, stopping them from getting that lead there and forcing them to restart their push almost entirely, as we do see the Zap coming around to pick off the RM. Will it be enough? It is enough to fully stop this push from happening, as they're going to have to direct a lot more attention on the back line and really put Dry Tortugas in the hot seat here. With only 12 seconds on the clock, the RM has been grabbed and it is being brought all the way home. I Feel So Sigma making sure that it is not going to be touched by anybody, giving off the late game booyah, as we are ending it right there with them taking Game 3. What
They
an
almost got
incredible
splatted there
match.
too.
We definitely did see an insane point where they almost got splatted.
But yeah, that is going to be I Feel So Sigma claiming that third game, getting yet another sweep under their belt. Just constant oppressive advantage. That opening was just... They set the tone. They're like, this is how this game is going to be. This is what we're doing here. And this is what you're going to have to respond to. And they just made it an incredibly difficult battle for Dry Tortuga, who did do a phenomenal job. Actually got really close to making a counter push and nearly succeeding. But I Feel So Sigma, just with a couple of choice plays and calls, that Brush jumping down and stalling things out just that little bit more, made a world of a difference in the end.
Yeah, and it just, that incredibly explosive push we saw from I Feel So Sigma, as we're seeing in the replay right here. Dry Tortuga is able to clean it up just a little bit and just not able to do it fast enough as they got all the way down there. That really put them on such an edge for the rest of the set here. Able to push it through, and if we had seen that RM get picked off there, getting a little bit risky pushing up, we could have seen an entirely different game happen there, where that pick happens there going into overtime. But both teams, just incredible teamwork from both sides, able to play off of each other extremely well, understanding the game's speed, the game's position, and how to act properly.
Indeed, indeed. And yeah, we see just these last few moments, it was just absolutely entertaining, just watching them go all the way back in and just confident that the game was over, and indeed it was.
What a match to be watching right there.
Indeed, I definitely enjoyed every moment. But I do
believe...
Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I just wanted to say I do believe both these teams played such an extremely well, and I think I Feel So Sigma just truly, so far, not dropping a single game and able to just keep it going one after the other, getting through every set so far. Incredible work from them.
Some absolutely Sigma plays going on right there.
Most indefinitely. They have mogged the competition, completely not dropping a single game, no matter how much they have been able to keep it going. They just managed to keep on winning. I cannot stop winning, they are saying.
Indeed. We'll have to see if they can keep that up in the winter finals, as they will be patiently awaiting I'm Super Shy against North Penn High School. But that's for down the road. We'll have to be taking a short break to get there. And I think that's just about it for us too.
Do you believe that they're going to kick us off?
I
Such a
mean,
sad sight to see.
I feel less about kick and more just like politely escorted out of the building.
I
But yeah, thank
I
you
can
all so
tell
much.
you.
If you
Malieve, before you go, I do want to ask, where can I find you?
Blue Sky is my best place right now. That is currently where I'm most active. Or you can find me Planet Scrapstar on all the things. What about you? Do you got any good ideas where we could find you?
So, if you want to find me, you can just check out Out of Ideas XE somewhere online. I'm probably there. If I'm active, maybe not. I'm mostly active on Blue Sky and Twitter currently. Hope, but I would also love to give a quick shout out to Jordan for streaming. Always a joy to have Specnia come in here and help us out.
Yeah, Jorin, a fantastic streamer, helps out a lot. Make sure that we get all the information we need, and even brings in a little bit of extra tidbits that help with the commentary. So, huge shout outs to him. And yeah,
Huge
that's
shout
gonna
outs
be
to the entire Under Pressure staff, honestly. They're all amazing.
indeed
But I do
that
believe that's going to be it for us tonight.
we'll be right back with some new commentators.
Well, here we are, everyone. Another week, another Tuesday, another Prism break. Hello, hope all of you are doing well. I am Topic, joined by Rocket, and we are hopping in with our winners final set. Rocket, how you doing right now?
I'm doing well here. We have a very interesting matchup between North Penn High School versus I Feel So Sigma. Now, these teams are our 4 and 3 seeds respectively. If you take a look at North Penn High School, you may recognize some big names here. You have Harshy, you have Enraged Jeff, you have all these players such as Buns, Vale, and I think that's Zook. I don't want to mispronounce that. Apologies if I did. But if you take a look at North Penn High School, they are pretty stacked with pretty experienced players. We've seen some of these players before, especially Harshy and Enraged Jeff around the Splatoon competitive scene. But if you take a look at the other side, I Feel So Sigma, just a team that is trying to pave their own path here. We see all 4 of these players, and just Cap, Matsume, Bake, and I don't know what that last symbol is, but these players have so far done pretty well in this tournament as they've yet to drop a map.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, before we hop into our first game, there is going to be a quick DC. So that is going to be a really quick reset. But while we get restarted, I want to talk about kind of the comps we saw real quick from North Penn High School. I believe they had a heavy edit, a blaster, a brush, and an E-leader. Very interesting. I think the use of the E-leader was very helpful in, kind of giving you that range, because this is on Umami zones, and from mid, yes, I was right, the E-leader scope, you can hit the mid block, so that kind of gives you that space to work with. And on the other side of I Feel So Sigma, a pretty meta comp, other than the not splashdown.
Yeah, you see their very interesting choice of not only running 2 backlines, having the E-leader and edit obviously for the cooler, but running without any shooter actually, and it's very interesting going to be seeing how they're going to really operate the playing field here, because really the edit is the only thing that can really operate. Okay, so the last weapon that was missing previously for North Penn was that Tri-Slosher, which is interestingly going to be the vanilla one here. I like that choice here a lot, especially with the jetpack. You can just have so much free reign over in mid if you can use it carefully.
Yeah, but the thing about jetpack is, there's an E-leader on the other side, and E-leader kind of just counters jetpack, so that's going to be a very hard fight for the Tri-Slosher here. But as we hop into the game, it's a very good opening for Sigma, as they're going to get the first lead, or first check of the game really quickly. A quick 3 down, and North Penn forced to back away here, as I Feel So Sigma is starting to let the point score.
Yeah, 2 down though, so an opportunity for I Feel So Sigma to continue this oppressive hold here. The E-leader will pop their special. The cooler is out as well. A very good use of that wave breaker, try to deny any entryway, and that will lead to actually a pick on the side there. Keeley, the end zap for North Penn, but counteractingly, 2 players make that 3 and 4. A wipeout now for North Penn High School will allow them to take back the point.
Yeah, when I saw there from North Penn is that they had 3 members of I Feel So Sigma really pushed up, and that'll really allowed the Knot to get behind them and get the splash on off and get that really nice wipeout, which gave them the momentum that they needed to really get in. As so far, they're gonna get a good score, at least good scores here. But I Feel So Sigma not going down without a fight with a quick 3 down, leaving only the zap left, and they're gonna be forced to back away before they lose cooler.
Yeah, in a similar position now, you have the E-leader with the wave breaker to potentially continue this hold here, and just trying to push this E-leader is going to be a tall task in itself, especially without any specials, but actually Azuka being popped to help counteract that a little bit to try to go in, but the wave breaker is there to detect any sneaky players coming from North Penn High School. This Knot, on the other hand, could provide some flanking ability though if they can get in the right position, especially with that splashdown.
I mean, they're in a really good position with the flank route. They are gonna get the E-leader with that splashdown, but I feel like they're trying to get their team in. It is gonna work eventually by forcing I Feel So Sigma to look their way, able to get get the point and get at least a couple points into their penalty. But I Feel So Sigma with a really quick response in neutralizing zone, and so far it's been very back and forth. I Feel So Sigma, of course, with a bit of an advantage, but North Penn not going down without a fight.
Not at all, especially since they don't have that large of a penalty to get out of. Still a little bit under half the match to be played, so plenty of time for them to go for a potential lockout territory here. We are nearing the end of their penalty points. However, the zone will be temporarily stalled a little bit there. It will eventually go into favor of North Penn High School, but still, I feel so Sigma are making sure that point total doesn't go down any further here as they are continuing to try to contest it, but actually 2 members of North Penn make that 3 players of North Penn High School will go down, which will lead to I feel so Sigma taking that back, and now a delayed wipe, but also a double kill from that splashdown over there.
Yeah, I just want to say shout out to Junpei there on the brush, the worst member in Persona 3 Reload, don't at me, getting a nice double kill with a bomb and getting their team in, but unfortunately for them, North Penn not giving up the zone without at least contesting it somewhat as they're into zone, able to get a little bit further into their penalty points, and with about 90 seconds left to go, I feel so Sigma need to find a way in. That's a good start with a double Durex, forcing North Penn High School back, and that will be I feel so Sigma with the zone.
Yeah, that not being left in no man's land now will have to jump out, but I feel so Sigma has been so well. Another beautiful direct here, just on point with those shots here. Koya will have that Trizuka to just try to create some space for North Penn High School. As so far, I feel so Sigma have bent but not broken as their hold on mid here, and all the points have been pretty strong as they near the end of their own penalty points. We are looking at a potential knockout situation here. The coolers popped as well for this.
Yeah, and if I am I feel so Sigma, I'm looking at that bubble, that very defensive special, because as you can see, North Penn High School has some very, very aggressive ways to get in. Azuka is how you get in for them, and they're gonna take zone back in an instant. But I feel so Sigma, on the other hand, is not letting go. Junpei gonna go down there, but giving their team enough time to at least recapture zone. With 30 seconds left, nice direct with the Inkjet, a great way for North Penn to get back into zone. 20 seconds remaining. They're out of penalty points. The hold for the win starts here.
There is a potential for a comeback here, but it needs to be perfect. This hold needs to be perfect because no mistakes can be made. A single lost team fight will mean the end of this match in favor of I Feel So Sigma. And now North Penn High School will have control of the zone. A cooler is popped on either side, so this fight is going to get violent real fast. North Penn High School does have a Zuka available for them to continue this hold. One will go down, that Tri-Slosher, so no more jetpack will be available. Koya on the right there with the Zuka just tried to contest it, but it will not be enough as 2 players will go down on the left side, which leads to one of the zones being captured. And what a great strike initially there. North Penn High School is setting the pace for the set.
I mean, yeah, it was a very, very good back and forth. And with I Feel So Sigma, I feel like what led them to that win was their defensive weaponry. Like, they did have the leader for a very, very large, a very, very great distance that can be covered. They did have the bubble, so anything, because if you look at North Penn's comp, they have a Splashdown, a Zuka, and a Inkjet. 3 very, very aggressive specials, 3 very, very upfront specials. They want to be in your face. So with I Feel So Sigma, they could just sit back a little bit, pop the bubble at a crucial time, and just let them waste specials and just kind of outlast them, which they really did there.
I mean, you saw in the replay, the first minute was all I Feel So Sigma. They had the zone for the entirety of the time and knocking it down to the 46 mark, which really put the pressure on North Penn really, really quickly here. But being able to just, like you said, that strong holding ability, their weapon comp especially, I mean, you had the blaster, you had the ink brush for trying to get those quick retakes, but Keeley, that E-leader and that edit just created so much presence that unfortunately, North Penn High School weren't able to counter, but now, this is the beauty of 5-game sets. Now we can see here maybe some adaptability in maybe weapons, but especially playstyle as we move to Undertow, Spillway, Rainmaker.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a quick little note, kind of diverge a little bit. I love ISO Sigma's little thing there, little icon. it's the girl from the Deer anime. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, Shiko Noko, very, very good. But as we hop into game number 2, we're already going to see a switch over to the Inkvax charger, so kind of a bit of Inkvax sheaves, and on the side of North Penn, the Rain Knot will be switched out, and I think that's a really, really good change, because that kind of the damage over time will be very, very helpful with getting pushes started and also stopping pushes.
I mean, you see that a lot with Charger mains, especially with a player of Bake's caliber. I mean, switching over to that Ink Vac allows for a push. As we see, though, it might not even be able to stop this initial push, however, from North Penn High School. It will be used just to try to retake some space, though, as North Penn High School off to a blazing start, trying to retake here, back momentum. Koya will manage to find the Rainmaker on a backstab. Junpei will actually run over, I believe, the shot. That's a rare sight to see, an Ink Brush stomping over a player, but already North Penn High School showing that they are running at a different tempo here and trying to make sure that that previous game was just a distant memory in the past.
I mean, but so far, I feel so Sigma, they managed to get 2 down, so maybe a bit of a momentum flip here. But now, if you are North Penn High School, it becomes a lot harder to push, because now I feel so Sigma, they still have the Charger. That's a very, very unfortunate DC, and a very, very unfortunate kill on the Zuka. That's going to be 2 down, 3 down for North Penn High School. Looks like I feel so Sigma will use this man advantage to their advantage and push, but thankfully for them, they are within the DC rules, so that will be a replay instead of a potential game loss.
Yeah, lucky break for them, but I loved how North Penn High School started that. I mean, they took the initial presence, they took the initial space, and they just ran with it. I mean, they saw a weakness on the left side, and they didn't even have to really face much resistance in the end, but we saw how the VAC could be used, not only defensively, but I mean, like I was talking about before, just being that VAC cheese, like you kind of mentioned, just being able to create so much space, just being a giant shield for the Rainmaker carrier. That's going to be something interesting that I believe that I feel so Sigma is just going to be the bread and butter of their pushes. And now that North Penn High School sees that Charger, they are going to have to change their ways of potentially trying to deal with that. Potentially maybe with that not flank, or maybe even a splashdown coming from it may help with that.
Well, I wanted to talk about the flip side as well. I feel so Sigma, they kind of saw how North Penn and their comp really was very, very aggressive. Like we see in this little replay right here, we do see a Not, while not a very aggressive weapon, can still push up when needed. You have the Zap, very mobile, very aggressive support. You have your shot, your cookie cutter vanilla aggressive weapon. You do have the Slosher, or Tri-Slosher, which has a very, very aggressive special. It has the Inkjet. It can really push the advantage. So now, if you're IFL Sigma, after this little preview, I would say, of North Penn High School's game plan, I would think that they would not rely on their Charger player to get a lot of picks, but kind of bait the members of North Penn into more Charger advantageous spots.
I mean, not only that, but having that Charger really be that presence, like, I mean, like you were touching on, not only just without getting kills specifically, but maybe just being that, just knowing that the other team has a Charger could be enough to really allow the other team to maybe make some mistakes, maybe put themselves in positions where the rest of I Feel So Sigma can really benefit from it. But we are going to jump right back into a game number 2 redo of Undertow Spillway Rainmaker, and let's see if if the same thing is going to happen at the very beginning, where off to a great start, North Penn High School will be able to take the Rainmaker immediately to the first check.
Well, hold on. We do see a switch up, a member swap for North Penn High School, as instead of the Tri-Slasher, there is going to be a Sploosh. You know, the Rainmaker classic. Everyone loves a Sploosh player, just holding W and hoping for the best. But unfortunately for them, I Feel So Sigma says, you know what? Not today, and shuts down that Sploosh almost immediately, with I Feel So Sigma striking first, only getting 2 points on the board, though. A very, very different approach from how we saw in that first try of this.
Yeah, and already I Feel So Sigma have basically kind of flipped the script, being able to take the Rainmaker, but not being able to get it close enough to the checkpoint, but still being able to contest it at the very least. And Rage Jeff, being the last North Penn High School player, really left in the area, but now an opportunity could present itself as a actually stamp will be deployed by North Penn High School to actually shut down that push immediately. Two players are down for I Feel So Sigma, so now we're a little bit reset back to mid here, trying to just see if either team can find the advantage. As Ultra Jeff with a beautiful flank will find one, will find two, will potentially find the third, but their job is done.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what Sploosh can do, and that's kind of the beauty and the pain of Rainmaker. If you can really get run over at times, like we saw from Ultra Jeff, kind of run in, get a triple, get their team the checkpoint in less than about 10 seconds. So now, if you're I Feel Sigma, you gotta make sure you get the Sploosh out of there. You gotta make sure you get the Rainmaker out of these dangerous spots, because if you're allowed to sit there, then just like we saw right there, it can be very, very hard to get out of your own base or even your own snipe, like it is right there.
Yeah, we do see 2 specials are available for I Feel So Sigma, though. Keely, that Vac could provide some leverage here to really allow them to try to get back this Rainmaker, but actually, I feel like they're just going to let this reset, which is a pretty smart move. 2 specials are available for this team fight, so we could see a potential bloodbath here, and actually, there are the specials. A quick pick from North Penn High School will lead to 3 players down, actually, for I Feel So Sigma. Just left to Bake on this charger. Will go down to Ultra Def. It will be a delayed wipe. We have seen Ultra Jeff just really make their presence known on that Sploosh, and now potentially trying to extend their lead. Zuka and Stamp available for this push.
I mean, so far, they're looking pretty good. There's the Stamp going off, the Zuka's going off. Junpei, unfortunately for North Penn, is going to find a way in, find a little crack in the defense, able to get through, and that will lead to a wipeout for North Penn High School. But with how far back I Feel So Sigma is, they possibly won't be able to fully capitalize on this, as by the time they even get to mid, all the members of North Penn are back up, and yeah, so it's be a lot more difficult to get through here.
Yeah, potential flank going on as well, as we see the Sploosh just converging on, as well as the rest of North Penn High School will take down 3 yet again. It is just left to the Charger to recollect themselves, provide some jumps here to try to stop the floodgates. A nice shot onto the Sploosh will allow them to create a little bit of an opening, and they also have that back available. However, Bucket will go down in the scrum, and Enraged Jeff yet again has that Stamp available. They have not splashed on as well. There it is being used, not quite finding much value out of it, but still, North Penn High School is still trying to chug along and try to extend this lead, but actually 3 players go down in that bloodbath. It is left to an Ultra Jeff, who will be snuffed out here, trying to get a little sneaky flank, but overall continuing to put on the pressure.
Yeah, as Ultra just will pop a Stamp and try to find something, throws it almost immediately, not able to get anything. But I feel like this kind of happens in Rainmaker sometimes. It gets really stalled out because, as you see, North Penn broken through that first checkpoint. They were stuck in that corner. I Feel Sigma trying to get into that corner, but as I say that, Ultra Jeff with a nice double kill. The cooler is gonna come out. Maybe the chance North Penn needs to extend their lead. The members of I Feel So Sigma able to respawn back, but North Penn are kind of, again, trapped in this little corner here. There's the Vac, there's the Whale, there's the bombs, and just like that, in a blink of an eye, the push that looks so good for North Penn gets shut down almost immediately, and that kind of happens on this map. If you get stuck in that corner, it can be very, very difficult to get out of it.
The area between the first and the second checkpoint has proven time and time again to be such a tough choke point to deal with, and I think we're seeing it right here unfold, Topic, as both teams have really struggled to push past that little around like 70 to around 40 point mark, and already we're seeing the Rainmaker drop yet again. We are nearing overtime though, so now I Feel So Sigma has maybe 2 potential pushes left, especially if the Rainmaker gets stamped there. They need to pick up that Rainmaker if they want to take the lead. However, with 5 seconds left,
nice.
is just going ballistic on the Stamp here and just taunting us a little bit as well, just waiting for that Rainmaker and just camping just to make sure no one else picks it up. A beautiful bounce back, and what a switch up here. Enraged Jeff coming in to be a substitute now and making their presence already known in this set.
I mean, this mode also really benefited North Penn because you had to play fast. That's just the goal of Rainmakers. Just move as fast as possible, overwhelm the enemy as quick as possible. That's exactly what they did, as we see Jeff there getting a nice kill to get some pushes started. But even at the beginning, I Feel So Sigma, yes, they did score first. They did get on the board first, but their pushes were very quickly snuffed out, as I don't think they broke through the first checkpoint the entire game. They were still stuck in that left corner, and since they weren't able to break through, North Penn, it just took time after time. They took 1,000 cuts, but eventually they took the win.
Yeah, a very, very close fought match here with a beautiful shot there from Bake, but overall, it was all North Penn High School, as we saw a really defensive game played after around the halfway point, because either team were just struggling to find success, and all in all, neither team were able to move it any further after North Penn High School's initial great push. But now we are moving on to game number 3, Inkblot Art Academy, which I think the splatter scope will stay, especially since that VAC can provide a little bit of a similar presence and impact that it would on Rainmaker. I mean, creating that space. We've said it over and over and over, but what are your thoughts on the topic?
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm doing this again, but North Penn's logo with SpongeBob in the black Air Forces. You know what? That gives off an energy, and I'm here for it. But yeah, back to the game. Yeah, I do think VAC in general is still pretty good, since on Inkblot specifically, you can either go the block route or you can go the ramp route, and both of them are really, really good for VAC, because if you get a good push off a block, the block jump, it can be very, very difficult, because you can basically protect anywhere around the basket, and that's like something you have to respond to instantly if you're on defense. However, if you decide to go the ramp route, then it could be like a delayed type of push for. Actually, hold on. There is no VAC. You don't have to worry about it, because they go with the pencil, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's the crab stamper.
Yeah, changing things up on us a little bit. I feel so Sigma trying to bring a different comp to this, and already off to a great start. Will take down that shot and will take control of most of the map, and Keely the clams now with the first push in Clam Blitz. You always want to make it to that magical number, that 60-point marker, at least under that total, because it will allow you to really operate here. But 2 members are down for I Feel So Sigma after that initial push that may have seemed like I Feel So Sigma would gain control mid, but they are cleaning up very nicely there, as another will go down, and now they will regain control mid and cap and almost actually take the goal there. Unfortunately, will be a little to the right, but I like the idea there.
I mean, yeah, it's great, but if you look at I Feel So Sigma's defense, it's super, super strong, though Jeff just breaks through the front lines and basically has unfettered access to the back line, as we see right there. One's gonna go down, the flank's gonna get 2, gonna get 3. I Feel So Sigma ravaging from that just onslaught from Jeff there, getting a quick triple kill and trying to get some momentum, but unfortunately for both teams, we're back in this neutral situation where it's very, very hard, and you see North Penn trying to build up the power clams because they had the momentum there. It's just they couldn't fully capitalize on it.
Yeah, clam advantage in favor of North Penn High School. 14 clams through their name. Zuka is available though for I Feel So Sigma, and you just saw the cooler being popped as well, so this could potentially allow them to really snowball this. The Zuka will actually get quickly shut down, and Enraged Jeff will have Stamp available, and a Zuka as well from North Penn. So now the tides can turn on the dime here, especially with that pencil jumping out. More players just jumping out, trying to reset themselves for this defense here, as North Penn will make their move. The Zuka fight will be in favor of I Feel So Sigma. The ball will not quite find its way near the goal after that push. The Rain also invested to try to push in, but I Feel So Sigma with a beautiful defense, and now it is their turn to attack. We have seen throughout the set, especially in that previous game, that both these teams know how to defend well.
I mean, yeah, as we see right here, we're halfway through the game. No one has yet to score, but it feels like we're at a tipping point where if one team scores, it could be like a 60-70 point push. It looks like this is just the opportunity North Penn needs, as Jeff is going to go in onto the plat with help from the Knots. As you can see, almost completely painted. The hammer is going to get 1. Junpei is going to go down as well, leaving only Urge there above to play some defense. However, thankfully, Koya is going to respawn just in time, and North Penn will draw first blood, though not a lot of follow-up. In fact, they might stay at 80. Yeah, they're going to stay at 80, so they just gave I Feel So Sigma a free power clam.
Yeah, and now this could potentially lead for a lead change real fast, as now you basically just have to get that pity clam in, not to mention all the other clams that are scattered around the map, and Rage Jeff just trying to make something happen with the stamp, as they are near the 7 mark. I think that was a pick. Yes, that was a pick onto the pencil. 2 players are down for I Feel So Sigma, but North Penn High School are not giving up yet. They want more. They want to continue that, but no, a quick double from the brush will shut down that and that pushback, and now just trying to keep the ball in favor. The Splatana also causing so much damage, but to counteract that, North Penn High School will recover nicely, and look at the amount of clams that are available for them topic.
I mean, yeah, they just toss them all in all at once, getting it down to 32. That's basically game winning at this point. In North Penn not looking to get out anytime quickly. They got their feet up, they're eating the chips, they're changing the channels, they are just all in the base of I Feel So Sigma, and finally they're gonna be forced out. Jeff's gonna be the last one to go down, and with less than a minute to go, I Feel So Sigma, it feels like they haven't really been able to get onto North Penn's plat. They've been kind of stuck in mid a whole lot because they've been trying to respond to North Penn's pushes, so they haven't really had the time or the resources to get pushes going of their own.
I mean, you have some really slippery players that you have to deal with. You have to deal with the Knot, you have to deal with the Sploosh, you have to deal with all these other shooters that can really pop up out of nowhere, and that's what's been disrupting I Feel So Sigma during this entire game near the 25-second mark here. They need to start to develop a push and fast, and then you start hoarding these clams, as this will be their last push. It is do or die time if they want to keep this set in control.
I mean, yeah, we're under 10 seconds left to go. North Penn with the clam advantage at the moment. I Feel So Sigma does have the pity clam in their back pocket, but if they want to score, they're gonna have to find a way in. Though Jeff is gonna score and just end the game, saying, you know what? You don't get overtime. And just like that, North Penn High School with a pretty dominant win. And okay, look at this ending screen. Look how far in Jeff went. He just went all the way to the base of I Feel So Sigma.
I mean, with Sploosh, you can play so aggressively, you can play so unpredictably, and we have seen for a second straight game Enraged Jeff really put things away for North Penn High School. Won 2 straight, so we could potentially see a gentleman's sweep here in Game 4 because of just how well we saw we're basically seeing a different team here with the addition of Enraged Jeff now, as they have really just amped up their offense, really amped up their pace of play, and has really benefited them. And I think this next match could potentially be in favor of them if they play like they did in this Game 3, because what do you know, it's Mahi zones, which can be a absolute fest for these this fast-paced pop-up action that we've seen from North Penn High School.
I mean, yeah, I think North Penn is just working really well around this aggression, because with a Sploosh, I think we all know they're going to go in no matter what you do. So if you don't play around it, then they're just going to feed. If you play around it, they're going to pop off and feel unkillable. But actually, hold on, it's not. I think you may have gotten the wrong map, because okay, never mind. I'm sorry. But it is Mahi Resort. Yeah, I do think especially once that water level drops, it just becomes a field day for any like really mobile shooters. So if you're North Penn High School, I think your goal, well, yes, is to win, but I think your goal is to get under 60 as quick as possible, because once that hits, it becomes much harder for I Feel So Sigma to get anything going.
Now remember, I Feel So Sigma did win Umami Ruin Zones, so maybe Zones is their specialty. We did see them really dominate that game based on their ability to not only hold the zone for a long amount of time at the beginning, just their lockout ability was on full display there. Not only that, but their quick counterattack. I mean, we saw the blaster being played there, and I fully expect it to be brought back here if they want to even things up, and they need to here, because it is do or die time for them now. They need to get this game to force Game 5.
Well, let's see if they're going to be able to do that as we hop into game number 4. I Feel So Sigma, going back to the comp they had in game number 1 with the E-Leader and the Heavy Edit. And on the side of North Penn High School, not a whole lot of, actually no changes actually. They feel comfortable. They found their new secret sauce. They're going to work with it.
Keely, though, I Feel So Sigma not running that blaster. We actually see Titan running that splash here with the crab, which I do like, but it just provides a lot more backline ability, especially with you already having the E-Leader and the edit. Will the offensive side keep up, however, because you do lose that special ability to really get in your face. But already we're seeing I Feel So Sigma really use their comp to their advantage here. Titan, you see, with the crab, we'll find one actually with, I think, a bomb, and now a crab just fully up, but now the entire map is unlocked for both teams. And this is what I mean. This is how I feel so Sigma won that first game. An initial great push to take the zone, and then a continuous hold as 2 players are down for North Penn.
I mean, yeah, as you see, Ultra Jeff not able to get a whole lot out of it, being kind of isolated here as Koya is also going to go down. I feel so Sigma not looking back, just holding onto zone, but they have to be wary of these 2 specials. There's one of them getting popped almost immediately, going 3 down, and North Penn High School will strike, getting a delayed wipeout onto I feel so Sigma, but they now have a very large mountain to climb.
I mean, I can kind of understand why I Feel So Sigma's comp would really have the advantage against I Feel So Sigma. I mean, I Feel So Sigma, or inverse of that, sorry, why I Feel So Sigma's comp would be doing well in zones against North Penn High School, because North Penn really likes to play those guerrilla tactics we're seeing right here, like Ultra Jeff just jumping out of nowhere, will find one, and the trade, but really just trying to play really aggressively and unpredictably is their key, and zones just limits that a little bit, especially if you're the team trying to retake. But we have the potential here for North Penn High School to continue the ball rolling. However, they will lose 2 members. Cooler will be placed, but will it be enough? No, not quite, as I Feel So Sigma will retake the zone.
Yeah, and I think if you're I Feel So Sigma, your big goal here is to just not let North Penn get into your face. Because if they do, you're most likely going to lose. But so far, they're doing pretty good job of that, as even though they are pretty far back, I Feel So Sigma are gonna go down there to that Zuka in North Penn with a quick retake. Wine and Roses here playing super aggressive, forced to jump out, but so far North Penn is looking to hold even longer.
Yeah, trying to play in your face. We see how far North Penn High School is willing to push up, nearing the end of their penalty point. However, Cooler will be played for I Feel So Sigma to try to get in. The brush quickly taken out, but so is the sploosh for North Penn High School. Now officially out of their penalty. Things could look really dangerous here. Tyne Wolf managed to find one with the crab, and now potentially try to find that painting ability and that opening to retake. They will force the penalty onto North Penn High School. Tyne, I think, will be having some internet issues there, but so far North Penn High School have tried to just take the fight to I Feel So Sigma. We've seen how these 2 teams like to operate. I Feel So Sigma trying to be that defensive team to lock out, while North Penn just wants to get in your face and win all these fights.
I mean, when you have such aggressive weapons, that's kind of what you're forced to do, and so far, North Penn is doing a really good job of that. Look, they're forcing I Feel So Sigma to use their specials. They just use a whale and a wave breaker, and no one from North Penn died, so just like that, and the flank by the nod will give North Penn the lead. Wine and Roses, the wipeout. That will be curtains for I Feel So Sigma's winners run, as North Penn High School will go to grand finals through the winner's side.
Yeah, we saw what a comeback though, because we saw at the very beginning here, I Feel So Sigma kind of repeat, what they did in that first match. I mean, we saw they even brought it down to the 12-point mark and seemed like they had control the entire time, but finally North Penn really found that opening and never looked back. I mean, they brought the pace to them, they got in their face, just made sure that I Feel So Sigma couldn't really regroup themselves and develop a quick counterattack, and all in all, that's just what decided that match and ultimately decided the set. Their tournament run is not over yet, however, because I Feel So Sigma will be knocked down to the losers bracket. Meanwhile, North Penn will be moving on to grand finals, and so far we're looking at I Feel So Sigma versus either Free Flow or their number 1 seed, I'm Super Shy. So we'll just have to wait to see if they can make that losers bracket finals and maybe make it back to grand finals for a rematch.
Well, they're going to have to find out who their opponent is first, but before we can do that, we're going to take a very quick break, but stay tuned because we will be back with our losers semifinals. So grab some popcorn, grab some water, grab whatever you need, and
Quick break here. We are right back right now for Losers Bracket semifinals. Rockin' and Topic here. We are in best of 3 here, trying to determine who will face off against who we just saw lost in winners finals, which is I Feel So Sigma. Let's see who we have in store for us. We have our number 8 seed Free Flow versus our number 1 seed, like I just mentioned before, I'm Super Shy versus I'm Super Shy. Or I'm Super Shy and I'm Super Shy.
I don't think they're versing themselves just yet. But yeah, I'm excited. You know, when you get to like the top 4, top 3 situations, then it becomes like, okay, these matches matter. And because this is best of 3, not best of 5. So if you lose game number 1, you're permanently on the back foot. You don't really have that buffer anymore. You're forced to make less mistakes, but we're gonna see if these teams can make the less mistakes, as we're gonna do a bit of a rewind back to our last set as we go to game number 1 of this set, Mahi Mahi Zones.
I mean, we saw how chaotic it was, Topic. I mean, we saw initially a team in the driver's seat, but we also saw how fast things can change, especially with the comeback ability that we saw. And all bets are off here, honestly. I am just ready for a chaotic, free-flowing, if you will, no pun intended. I just realized, whoops, but no, but yeah, a really fast-paced game, I'm sure, here. And taking a look at our game 2, Scorch Tower Control isn't something we typically see, but it is introduced to us now in game number 3, a familiar sight we saw in that previous set as well, if needed. Undertow, Spillway, Rainmaker. Any of these maps really stick out to you, Topic?
Scorch Tower, because I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't remember the tower path off the top of my head, so we'll be figuring it out as we get into the game, because I haven't seen this one in a minute.
Now, on Scorch Tower, really the hard part about it is going to be around that second checkpoint pop and nearing the third checkpoint. I mean, it is one of those close choke points that is super hard to get through. I mean, I would compare it to kind of like Sturgis Shipyard, I think, with that distance between the two checkpoints. Not only that, but just the difference in elevation, similar to that map, I mean, is really hard to push through if you don't have specials. So we're gonna have to see some really good combos with specials to really open up that defense if you are either team, if you're gonna push through that. But that is for our second game. But game number 1, Mahi Mahi Resort. I mean, what more needs to be said, Topic?
Fight. That's it. Good night.
Fair enough. I mean, we saw how well it went for the team that really tried to get in your face, North Penn High School, but I'd like to think that in order to really win on Mahi Mahi, you want to see similar playstyle, a little hybrid of playstyle, if you will, from both of those teams. I mean, you saw North Penn's aggressiveness. You need to have that aggressiveness. You need that willingness to take a fight, but also I Feel So Sigma's ability to really lock down the zone. But enough said. Let's see what these two teams have for us in game number 1 of Losers Bracket Finals. I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna see a Kraken Fit 96 from Super Shy. Actually, very interesting. They go with the double wall, double 52. Very good. But on the side of Free Flow, one of my favorite weapons, the Sorella with the Inkjet. Very good weapon, especially against these shooter comps and a V Stamper and a V Dualies. Very interesting comps, but so far, I'm Super Shy, looking pretty dominant so far.
Yeah, I mean, already taking a great lead here, especially with having the pencil on their backs, on their side here. It could provide for a great opportunity. Playing a little bit of Ring Around the Rosy there on the right side is that Gal. And already past that 60-point mark, now the entire map is available for both teams, so could provide Free Flow an advantage to get in. As we see the Zipcaster trying to find some value, trying to hunt this pencil, won't quite find it as the pencil will escape with their lives, but providing a little bit enough of distraction, at least getting the dualies. But now I'm Super Shy near down the 30-point mark, not quite able to get it. No, they actually will get it in the end.
I mean, that's the power of Pencil, just being able to hold onto zone and times where you really shouldn't be, gave I'm Super Shy a couple more points to work with, and now Free Flow with a much bigger mountain to climb. And I feel like it'd be really hard for them to push in because of this double wall from I'm Super Shy, because they have those defensive options to work with, because they can just sit back. And like you see right here, Super Shy able to quickly recap zone.
Yeah, you see the 1-2 Gal combo here, trying to take down this Jet here, but I'm Super Shy already in a very commanding lead. They are in control of the zone now and trying to pave their way, but actually 2 players will go down. It is both of their Gals, so it will force a little bit of a retreat, as now it is just left to their Pencil to run for the hills, try to live to fight another day, especially since the Zipcaster is trying to take no prisoners, will get taken down, but the Crab is available for Free Flow to try to stop any counterattack, and there it is right there, trying to run away from the Kraken and the Tri Strikes.
I mean, Kraken versus Crab, I take the Kraken any day of the week. But if you're Free Flow, you're looking pretty good. You're about to get through your penalty points. Super Shot is kind of backed up. The only real one that can cause any damage is the Pencil on the zone, which you really have to be careful of. There's Blue again with the Zipcaster trying to hunt down this Pencil. Unfortunately, they're not quite able to get it. They're going to get canceled, which is really, really bad for Free Flow. There's the Crab going to come out to try to cause a bit more chaos in the backlines of Super Shy, but not a whole lot, because the Strikes are going to come out, the Kraken's going to come out, and Super Shy with a very, very quick retake of the zone.
Yeah, Jetpack being played as well, just to try to counteract this overwhelming push that I'm Super Shy is going in. Shines will fall to Worm here, and the Cooler is played in favor of I'm Super Shy as well, just to try to stabilize this mid fight here, as it is getting really dirty here, as 2 players are down for I'm Super Shy yet again. And Blue, we have seen them continuously try to hunt this Pencil. They will go down yet again. I feel like they're just after this bounty, and what a bounty it is, because, I mean, you want to deny that Cooler, but so far, not that much success.
I mean, if just moving the Pencil, making sure it can't shoot onto zone is value in and of itself. Just making sure that they can't really do anything proto there, getting it, just managing to jump out at the absolute best time possible for them. And Super Shy still holding on to zone. There's another Kraken going to be popped, trying to cause some damage. You know, there it is, camping. Unfortunate, Inkjet happens to everybody. Going to go down there, and Super Shy quickly going to work through their penalty points, trying to just extend their lead. It's going to work. And now Free Flow with about 1 or 2 more chances. Blue with another Zipcaster trying to get something going. Unfortunately, not able to. With 10 ticks left, Super Shy looking to hold on here.
Yeah, Worm will go down though. 50 seconds left, so Free Flow could potentially try to take this back here, but I'm Super Shy not letting up as all, as they will take the zone here. They might actually go for the knockout here. Free Flow can't paint the zone in time, and they will not paint the zone in time. I'm Super Shy will take game 1, and now will look to win this set, now up 1-0.
I mean, yeah, it's just a good game from them. I think that game to me just said, hey, Pencil gonna Pencil, because the Pencil player for Super Shy just stood at a very safe distance and still managed to affect the zone. And actually, they kept it. I believe it was when Super Shy was at 30, and the Pencil kept it for 6 more ticks by themselves, got them down to 24. And Free Flow then had a much larger hole to dig themselves out of. But as on the replay, Blue, you know, trying to collect that bounty didn't quite work a few times, but just getting movement out of the Pencil, making sure it can't sit and fire is super, super important.
Yeah, 100% here, and actually a little bit of a switch up. We were mistaken. It is not tower control on Scourge Gorge. It will be Clam Blitz on Scourge Gorge, actually. So it's something typical to what we're used to seeing. I mean, what are your thoughts on it, Topic?
I think it can get boiled down to the ramp part a bit too easily, because that's really the not only way, literally, but it's the most common way to go to zone or go to the basket, because it's technically the safest. It has a lot more room to work with. It gives you time to build up your resources, gives you time to get more clams so you can get bigger pushes. I just feel like it can get really stally at the ramp.
Yeah, 100%. And also as well, I'm very interested to see what Free Flow will run here. I mean, Sorella Brella isn't something we see at all in general here, but what we might see from them, potentially a comp switch up to maybe stick to what normally is seen on Clan Blitz maps. I mean, you could thinking about those blasters potentially, maybe a bubble weapon. I mean, just to try to create some space. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either if they go for like a brush again, but we'll have to wait and see as we're moving on to game number 2, do or die time for Free Flow. Let's see if they can bring things back now and force game 3.
I mean, let's see. Will they switch it up? We're actually gonna see a junior out of the side if I'm super shy, and they're gonna go switch over to the Free Flow's and switch over to the vanilla Brella and the vanilla Brella, a decavitator, and a heavy edit, a much more aggressive comp out of Free Flow, even and with some defensive properties with the bubble, with the Brella shield in general. So a bit more of a balanced comp from them. And on the side of I'm Super Shy, just the addition of the junior allows them to kind of stay in much longer than they really have any business of doing, as we see right here. Super Shy, unfortunate bomb there. They're gonna get the first score of the game and get all the way down to 50, under 50, or at 50 exactly, and they're still going down to 47 comp there, getting it down to 38. Worm with a couple more clams, gonna get down to 35 in the first minute. Talk about striking first.
Yeah, I mean, we see both teams running that bubble, and we saw the bubble and Kraken combination from I'm Super Shy work out to the fullest there, and knocking it down to 35 is not too shabby at all here, but now it is their turn to try to defend as Worm won't be able to get away here. Blue is just chasing blood. Will find 2, will find 3, and now with a bubble being popped as well, just waiting for the rest of the team to come in, and there they are. Now the counterattack will start. The Pity Clam is still sitting backline. Now will be jumped in, and there it will go. However, still more clams needed to take back this lead.
I mean, JJ there does get it, gets another power, gets it down to 28, a lead change. Worm's gonna go down there. Blue still in here, still in the base. Unfortunately, it's gonna be forced away, and actually he makes it out. Never mind, they don't make it out alive, but two very strong pushes, one from either side, very gigantic pushes to say, getting it down to 35 and 25 respectively in the first 2 minutes of the game. Now I feel like at this point it will slow down a little bit. We'll get more of that neutral play, trying to find each other out, because you can't keep that up forever.
I mean, you saw the power of yet again the bubble here. A quick double from the Brella will have Free Flow slightly in the advantage, but no, actually, they will lose 2 players. The Dualies and the Brella will go down here, just waiting for an opportunity to strike. Free Flow will have a little bit more of the mid painted, however, it is still very up for grabs here, as both teams are just trying to find a pick, trying to find an opportunity, just farming these specials in neutral to try to find opening here. Cooler is popped for I'm Super Shy, as well as the Gal special, and Kraken as well. The bubble is in the pocket of that junior. 2 players down for Free Flow. Now there is the waterfall, there is the pop, and now a potential lead switch for I'm Super Shy.
I mean, potential. It is potential, and I'm at a loss for words. They just kind of won, I guess.
A quick punch. We saw the power of the double special there. We saw the use of the Gal to really, the Gal special, the Killer Whale to first initiate things, try to disorientate these members of Free Flow, and then we saw the 1-2 punch of the bubble and the Kraken that we saw in their first push that really allowed them to get in there, and we saw how fast I'm Super Shy likes to play, how quick and fighty they like to play. And although they did give up the lead there temporarily to Free Flow, although Free Flow were able to get in a great push, and although they fought hard, it was not enough. I'm Super Shy. We'll move on in Losers Bracket, and now we'll move on to Losers Bracket Finals to face who we just saw lose in Winners Brackets Finals. I feel so Sigma.
I mean, I'm actually really excited for this because what we've seen from I'm Super Shy, they use the double wall to their advantage. They have two weapons that can kill very, very well, plus the defensive properties that the wall offers, just being a shield. If you add on to that, they have, I think they had a pencil both of those games, just that kind of range, that pain advantage would be very, very helpful. And then on the side of I Feel So Sigma, they had a very defensive comp. They had E-Leader, they had the bubble blaster. They just had weapons that dealt with defense a whole lot more. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've seen how both these teams like to play. We've seen them on stream now. So now to face each other for the potential to try to knock down who is waiting for them in Grand Finals, which is North Penn High School, who we saw knock down I Feel So Sigma down here. So maybe a little bit of revenge could be had, but first they can't look there. They have to look at I'm Super Shy. I mean, the teams left are I Feel So Sigma, our 3 seed, I'm Super Shy, our 1 seed, and North Penn High School, our 4 seed. So quite a very, I mean, a little bit of an expected outcome for sure, but definitely a storyline to be had. As we take a look, our map for the set is here. It is 5 game sets now. We're looking at Chip Cargo zones to be our first one.
You know, I said it before, I'll say it again. Whenever I see this, I think of Reef Slider, go Burr, and I know it's the SD button, but it's really funny because you can Reef Slider cheese, and overall, Reef Slider does pin up a majority of the enemy court, so it might sound like a joke, but I personally think Reef Slider is underrated on this map.
Yeah, but Keely, I'm Super Shy. We just saw the run typically a double gal pick, so maybe a little bit of a switch up for one of those gals. I mean, if you were to keep one of those gals, I would say Kraken in my opinion, because I just like how Kraken can be used to create so much space, but I can understand that being dropped. I mean, you really have a choice here. Would you prefer the ability of the killer whale to disorientate a little bit on the fly, or would you rather have that Kraken? It is really up to personal choice, I believe, but in my opinion, I think maybe the Kraken could provide, especially the distraction ability, because really, I Feel So Sigma, we've seen how well they've played on zones, especially with that lockout ability, so maybe the Kraken can create some chaos.
I mean, they could use both of them because the Kraken's on the 96, and then the whale can be on the is on the 52. So there's not really a conflict there when in terms of weapons. I think they could use both of them and be very, very effective. Like you said, they could use the whale to like disorient, especially the backliner for I Feel So Sigma, the elite player, get through the bubble really quickly, since whale can go through bubble, and then they could also use the Kraken to like officially force their way in, try to go for a pick, trying to get isolated enemies. So I think they could both like work in tandem, and I think that's why I'm Super Shy has been so successful.
We could see one, we could see both. I mean, we saw their success with both of them, and if you take a look at what I Feel So Sigma usually runs, I mean, just the constant lockout ability that you have from them. I mean, all the long-range weapons, all the presence, that's how they like to play. They liked to initially get in and just control the game from start to finish. I mean, you saw, I believe their main comp that they ran was Lake on that E-Leader having a blaster and then having a shot and a rush, I believe, is their main comp that they like to run. I mean, that is pretty heavily in the back line and just really playing to that range advantage. But let's see if they keep that up here, because so far they've been pretty dominant on zones.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We saw in the last one that they won the first game of zones. Yes, it was close, of course, but they still won it really dominantly because they were able to play some solid defense. But let's see if they can keep it up as we hop into game number 1 of our losers finals from the side of I'm Super Shy. Kind of expected they double 52 with the splash. On the other side, again, kind of expected. We do see the leader, a brush, and we do see the splash from I Feel So Sigma.
these are the bread and butter of these teams that they like to run on zones. I feel so Sigma yet again running that double backline, having that edit, having that E leader to create so much presence, but actually I'm Super Shy are going to be the team to initially take back that first zone here. Now, I think that is a Deco Gal, actually, a little bit of a switch of no longer running the 96, so I think we're running that screen now, but quickly, I feel so Sigma will take back the zone and will take the lead now here in a potentially dangerous situation. This is where I feel so Sigma likes to thrive, especially with that crab being popped as well. This is where they like to shine, and this is where the lead can really be had here if they play their cards right.
I mean, you see where the either is on that bridge section. They could be the eye in the sky. They can be the eagle that I feel so Sigma needs. But I'm Super Shy just going straight to the zone. It is gonna work for them temporarily, though they're not quite able to get the cap, however, as I feel so Sigma is still counting down, getting it down to 35 and counting. I'm Super Shy need to try to find their way in. That's a good start with one going down. The strikes are going to come out. Bake there with a nice snipe onto the splash. Unfortunately for them, I'm Super Shy is going to be in the zone, but not for long. I feel so Sigma, they're holding on for dear life. The Kraken's going to get popped. That's going to be 2 down again for Super Shy. Proto, the last one left, going to go down. And I feel so Sigma, a very, very dominant zones game.
I mean, we both talked about it at the beginning. This is how they play zones. This is how they do it right here. They initially take the zone and never let you have it back. They don't give you any space to operate. An entire sniper range you had for the E-leader, for the edit to really operate, and just not enough for I'm Super Shy to really get in. They didn't have enough opportunities to really make some space, as constantly you were being pressured by the whale, constantly you were being pressured by the E-leader, constantly you were being jumped by the brush or the splash, and all in all, it was just a monumentous feat that I feel so Sigma really put on I'm Super Shy, but really well played for I feel so Sigma as we move on to game number 2, tower control, which could present itself a different tempo here because we've seen how dominant I feel so Sigma have been on zones, but what about other modes?
I mean, I think for if you're I feel so Sigma, it's kind of like a blueprint game, or game number 1 was a blueprint game for how to use your E-leader. Kind of get if you get your E-leader in a really far up position, it can be incredibly difficult for the enemy team to move them out. And I think especially on Inkblot here, if they can get their E-leader on the stack behind that behind the checkpoint, it could be very, very daunting for I'm Super Shy to get through, because you're gonna have a laser pointed at you trying to get in, and then that gives I feel so Sigma the space they need to work with. It gives them a lot more space, because I don't know about you, but if I see an E-leader looking dead at me, I'm gonna move out of the way and stay out of its sight.
Yeah, I am getting the heck out of dodge especially, but now that we have a tower control map, we could see the bringing back of some bubbles. I mean, we saw it in the previous match for I'm Super Shy, and I think it could really benefit them well here, especially what if they like to run. I mean, having that double gal here, I'm expecting the return of the 96 because Kraken is basically filling that similar role of that GG strike. I mean, you just get the Kraken on the tower in overtime, and then boom, you're done there. You can secure the match for your team if you are in the lead, but let's see if they do that in game number 2 here. Let's see what we're looking at here. There is the 96 Gal Deco, and on the other side, same comp that we've seen from I Feel So Sigma. They remain firm.
I mean, they don't really have to change. It's been working for them. But on the side of I'm Super Shy, yeah, they decide to go back to that to the Kraken, kind of a bit of a GG Kraken if they get the lead here, as we are going to see the 96 already going down for I'm Super Shy. Collision is popped for them, trying to at least start some fights, but so far I feel so Sigma is the one taking the fights to them, getting a quick kill. Another one's gonna go down. The comp here on the pencil force back, unfortunately for I feel so Sigma, pencil's gonna pencil and get a quick kill on tower.
Yeah, and Keeley as well. I mentioned the use of the bubble. There's the junior swap for I'm Super Shy as well. But already it is looking all I Feel So Sigma as they are near the first checkpoint. 2 players are down for I'm Super Shy, and the Crab placed in such a great spot as well to continue the pressure. Titan is continuing to lead the way for the rest of I Feel So Sigma. Cooler as well, and they are just chugging along here, Topic, as they're at the second checkpoint and growing.
I mean, look at this. The Red Sea has parted for them, the sharks in the water, or krakens in the water, as the 96 is going to stop them temporarily. But I Feel So Sigma still looking strong. Proto here, being the first line of defense, is going to get a kill on the leader. Titan, though, that's going to be a wipeout. And we even talk about Junpei just being a brush, being annoying, doing exactly what they need to do, as I Feel So Sigma not quite able to break through the second check, or the last checkpoint, I believe. No, they are going to break through it with no contest whatsoever. The red carpet's being rolled out. Proto's going to go down, and I Feel So Sigma, very, very one-sided game. That was, you know what, you said it'd be a change of pace, and it was, but it was in I Feel So Sigma's favor.
Now, after that game 1, we've seen how well they've done on zones. I asked the question, can they repeat that same success in Tower? And yeah, they can. They definitely can. I mean, really, they just took that initial 1 push and continued on during the entire time, not really stopping at all here. We got wipeout after wipeout, and at the end we saw a delayed wipeout that led I Feel So Sigma to really get in. I mean, you saw the specials not really being able to counteract this, and now we are potentially looking at a sweep for I Feel So Sigma to return back for a bit of a revenge game here. If you're on the side of I'm Super Shy, you really need to get back into things here with taking back game number 3, and it needs to happen now, especially with it being a doozy of a map. We have Humpback, Pump Track, Rainmaker, a Gladiator, Bloodbath, if you will, of a map, at least in my opinion.
I mean, I call this is the Bucket's playground, because I'm a Bucket main. I love this map because the elevation and the little hills are so fun to play on, and especially since we are on Rainmaker. I'm gonna hazard to guess that both teams will elect to take that right side first, because it is kind of, again, it's really safe to take if you can get the elbow. It's actually really good if you can get elbow and everything above it, or anything in front of it, because then you have a lot of space to work with. So if you're I Feel So Sigma, I do think they're gonna stick with what they're working with. Maybe switch the either out for, like, I don't know, a V Charger, maybe a Fire Fin, or a ZF. It's not Splatoon 2.
Yeah, I think what they might do is switch to the VAC. I mean, for Rainmaker, I think this would be the perfect map to do so. And we're seeing a change of pace here from the other side, though. They do switch to that VAC scope, but look at the new comp we're seeing here for I'm Super Shy. Dapple Doolies, V-Shot, going away from that, and Keeley not running a Cooler Eater, a very, very aggressive fighty comp that is coming out from them, and bringing it out in this potential last game is going to be very interesting to see if this comp can work for them.
I mean, so far, it's not quite going in their favor, as I Feel So Sigma in the first 30 seconds is gonna break through that checkpoint, giving them a lot of space to work with. Titan with the Crabs gonna find one. The shot here, able to get a pick on the Rainmaker, but not before they pick it up. Confier in mid, and that's kind of the problem with Dapple Doolies. You have very little range. You need to be in the person's face, and so far I Feel So Sigma just gonna keep on chugging along. Junpei gets it even further down to 44 before the first push for I Feel So Sigma is gonna be stopped at a pretty good spot for them.
Yeah, and now it is an opportunity for I Feel So Sigma to really cement themselves in this, but they need to stop this push. A great pick for the Rainmaker to take out Junpei, and trying to get to this first checkpoint, I mean, is I'm Super Shy, but a flank from the Edit could slow things down here, but they will eventually slam the Rainmaker down through that first checkpoint, but still a little bit more needs to be gained if they want to take the lead. Zuka is popped for them to just try to create some space here. The vac, though, the vac is so brutal in this such narrow passageway, and will find one in its bloodbath too.
I mean, yep, here it is, the elbow. If you don't have a man advantage, it's very, very hard to get out of. You do see Comp jumping back to mid and forcing their way out, but now I feel so Sigma. If they can't really go down here, because with how fast I'm Super Shy's comp is, if they lose one bad team fight, that could realistically be the lead in the game for them. So they're gonna have to play a lot more cautiously, especially when you're in enemy territory. Those like they don't have to, as I'm Super Shy is gonna go 2 down again, and I feel so Sigma. The momentum's looking on their side right now, as they're gonna have a vac in a second to get some more points.
Yeah, continuing to try to extend this lead here as we are near the halfway mark. Actually, Cooler being placed by the Dapples. I must be colorblind or something, thinking of the wrong Dapples here. The Cooler Dapples will be played here. Just try to throw it out and try to stabilize this push here, because the Rainmaker is so far into I'm Super Shy's side that they are just trying to get it out. Won't quite make its way out there, as Titan is quick on that pick here. Another will fall in the wake of that Rainmaker explosion, and I'm Super Shy just trying to find an opportunity for them to strike. Junpei will jump in to try to get this monster's flank, and will steal the Rainmaker to try to get a little cheeky cap, but it will not be enough, as I feel so Sigma will get thwarted on that push, but still, presence made.
I mean, yeah, that was really good by Junpei, just getting the Rainmaker reset, taking time away from I'm Super Shy. That's really what you want to do in this kind of situation, because right now, I'm Super Shy looking to push for themselves. They're gonna go right through, get to 21, taking the lead with about 90 seconds left to go. They're gonna take control of this game. However, I feel so Sigma not looking to take this line down, though the shot's gonna get it a little bit further, trying to squeeze the space that I feel so Sigma has to work with. And now with the push down to 14, the momentum has switched over. Now I feel so Sigma is the one who has to get a really good push here.
Yeah, this Gal trying to get a cheeky pick onto the Rainmaker will not be as such. It is just left to the Dapples and that V-Shot. The V-Shot does have Zuka available for them to potentially rain down hell from this lane here. Titan will grab one from the tank here, trying to find more as they try to create some space for the rest of their team to go in. This Zuka is still being pocketed, now will be used, will find the Rainmaker there. That is the beauty of Zuka, ladies and gentlemen. That is why you hold on to such a powerful special, but I feel so Sigma will not give up on this pressure here. 38 seconds left.
I mean, like you said, 38 seconds, 35, we'll final deliver in the last minute and a half. And Bake is gonna get a nice pick there. They're gonna pick up the Rainmaker. Junpei gets it. The Vac's gonna go off. Gonna get one Proto and Comp there. They're there trying to play some defense. Bake gets it down to 2. Titan with the crowd's gonna get a pop. Urge here is gonna grab it, get the lead with 11 points left. Final 10 seconds. Titan is gonna get white. Is gonna go down. That's gonna be a wipeout for I feel so Sigma, and now a very, very bad spot for them, as now I'm Super Shy just has to run forward. Less than a minute to go in overtime.
One last push, one mistake will end this set. Junpei has the rail to potentially get a flank here. This needs to be a worry, but no, it won't even be by Junpei. The Rainmaker will go down, and just like that, near the end of the match, a last second swiping of this set. I feel so Sigma will take this 3-0, and what a down to the wire game that was. I mean, you saw all those players from I Feel So Sigma just jumping in and throwing themselves at the Rainmaker.
I mean, yeah, I think at that ending like minute and a half where I'm Super Shy had the lead, they got it down to 16, which at that point was kind of game winning. And then, like you said, I Feel So Sigma just said, you know what? We got bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies, and started throwing themselves at the Rainmaker, and eventually one got through, getting it down to 11, and then they just had to make sure they didn't get wiped out again, and that's exactly what they did. They let I'm Super Shy come to them because they knew they were gonna panic because they were at overtime. So he was like, "Hey, you guys have to take the lead here. We're just gonna sit back, maybe have a flank or two to get you off your guard," and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, GG's to I'm Super Shy. Their run ends here, and there ends the #1 seed's run in this, but we are here now for Grand Finals for a rematch of what happened in Winners Bracket Finals. We will be having North Penn High School yet again taking on I Feel So Sigma. We already saw how this 5-game series turned out in Winners Brackets with North Penn taking it 3-1, but now potentially maybe trying to change things up a little bit here, but we've seen what both these teams like to run, so I'm not expecting much in terms of how these teams like to play and in terms of weapon changes, but maybe just the technique and the mechanical skill needs to be there for I Feel So Sigma to face North Penn High School, especially since that they need to win this set and force bracket reset and then win the next one as well.
Yeah, but I think they've seen what North Penn High School is gonna run. They've seen them play some all-out aggressive comps. They've seen them play with Jeff on the Sploosh. So I think they're gonna be more attuned to it, to not get caught off guard, not get overwhelmed, because I think that's what North Penn really excelled at, especially in that last set. Is just they just overwhelmed I Feel So Sigma, and they just kept going and going and going and going, and eventually I Feel So Sigma just broke and the floodgates opened. So that's what kind of knocked them down to losers bracket.
I mean, you saw the aggressive comp that was initially ran from I'm Super Shy, and we saw how I Feel So Sigma countered that. Now the real challenge is, can they take a little bit of the lessons of what they learned in that one and what previously happened in Winners Bracket to really counter how North Penn likes to play? I mean, you saw that heartbreaking defeat in game number 4, I believe, on Mahi Mahi, where they had the game in their hands right there, but North Penn High School kept up the pressure yet time and time again. And key player that you see right there just popped up on your screen, Ultra Jeff, that sploosh has been so deadly for North Penn High School that I Feel So Sigma needs to keep that in check.
I mean, we're gonna see if they're able to do that, as our first map is looking kind of sploosh favored as we go to Robo Ramen Zones.
Yeah, Robo Ramen Zones is very interesting indeed to start things off. I mean, obviously, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but obviously, I Feel So Sigma has been dominant on zone maps, but North Penn High School has shown us a little different element to it because, I mean, obviously they came back from that Mahi Mahi in such a commanding fashion. We saw the fast pace of play from them, and those flank routes underneath could be dangerous for players such as Enraged Jeff, for other players, for the flanking routes that really can allow North Penn High School to really hamper the range that I Feel So Sigma might have.
Yeah, and because this map has a lot of flanks to it, well, a lot. It has one paintable wall. I don't know. I guess that's the flank, but it can't. If you're pushing, especially if you're I Feel So Sigma, you can't really push too far, because you know in the back of your head that, hey, at any moment either the Nautilus player, the Sploosh player Jeff, their shot player, basically anybody on the team could really go for a flank and catch you off guard, get 1, 2, or 3 down. So I think just that in general, the chance, or the what's the word? The chance, or the, I don't know the word, but the opportunity that might arise from you pushing too far up may hinder you and force you to not go as hard as you would like to.
And yeah, I'm fully expecting that. I'm fully really just hoping that both these teams really bring on a show. I mean, I Feel So Sigma and North Penn have really shown why they are here, both teams included, and I Feel So Sigma clawing back for revenge here. Taking a look at the rest of this series, it is Museum de Alfonsino on Clam Blitz, not Tower Control. Game 3 will be Hagglefish Market on Tower Control, and if necessary, Game 4 Mako Mart Zones, and Game 5, if necessary, Scorch Gorge Rainmaker. I mean, we've seen some of these maps before, but I like the new additions of Museum now. I mean, we haven't seen that yet here, and Mako Mart for Game 4. I mean, Mako Mart Zones is always the classic. I mean, I know you might have some mixed feelings about it, but enough of that. We are moving now to our grand final set here between North Penn High School versus I Feel So Sigma. I'm not expecting any weapon changes. Nope, never mind. Junpei coming out with the Min Decapitator. Hello. And on the other side, pretty standard from what we see from North Penn High School.
I mean, we've seen what Junpei can do with the Mint Decav in that Scorched Clams game and how deadly they could be on it, but so far, a lot of a lot of back and forth here, a lot of paint going down. I Feel So Sigma will be the first ones to cap the zone. However, you gotta be careful. There's the Zuka, there's the hammer. Actually, no, Jeff's gonna go down, so no hammer, thankfully, but I Feel So Sigma still fighting and winning these fights, able to hold on for a lot longer than they would have expected, getting it down to 82. However, there it is. The aggression from North Penn has come through. They're gonna take the lead, and now if you're I Feel So Sigma, you cannot get staggered here.
Yeah, staggering is what North Penn likes to do, what needs to be done to really counteract I Feel So Sigma's coordinated pushes already. Junpei will lose their life in that fight here. Titan on the crab, just trying to create some space with it, trying to disorientate these members of North Penn High School, but not quite. The stamp is available in the pocket of Ultra Jeff, no longer, as Junpei will go in with a quick double, and just like that, slicing and dicing I Feel So Sigma back in it, and they will take the zone now out of their penalty points as well.
I mean, but look at this. Jeff just held W, and it worked out, getting 1, getting 2. Not quite the triple, but just showing complete non-caring, just holding forward, getting a quick double kill, and just flipping the zone in half a second. Koya, unfortunately, gonna go down there to the E-leader, but so I Feel So Sigma with the opportunity to push in. They are gonna pop the cooler. Jeff and Roses are gonna go in, get a triple, and just stop any momentum that I Feel So Sigma might have had. And they eat through their penalty points, so now they're eating through their score, getting it down to 25 with very little resistance from I Feel So Sigma showing.
This is similar to how that Mahi Mahi Zones map turned out, with how North Penn High School likes to take the fight to I Feel So Sigma and make sure they don't have any time to set up, but now, potentially, they will have some time to set up, as actually now Titan will pop the crab as well. All players for I Feel So Sigma will be in this area, not Junpei, though. They will fall, and that cooler is popped for them out of their penalty points. They look to try to turn things around here near the halfway mark, and just trying to hold on desperately to this point, and especially something they need here. A nice kill from Junpei, a nice double now. Actually, 3 will go down for North Penn, so now the potential to take this lead here.
I mean, that's exactly what they needed. That's exactly what they got. They got their way in, but unfortunately for them, 2 members are gonna go down. Unfortunately, it's just before North Penn respawns and just fighting for zone, able to get I Feel So Sigma a pretty meaty penalty. But unfortunately for them, Sigma here is just fighting in the zone. There's Junpei with the aggressive bubble, getting 1, forcing North Penn and Jeff back with and eating through their penalty points. And so far, I Feel So Sigma looking to try to just hold on here, though not looking good for them.
Yeah, they are now forced onto another penalty here. The lead is so close. It is only a 2-point lead in favor of North Penn here. 2 specials are available for them, and they are powerful ones at that. The Stamp and the Zuka available for any potential push here. The Stamp throw will not find its mark, but will just scare I Feel So Sigma away here slightly, though. The Zuka will find its mark, will find 2 actually in that, and with 3 players down, it is just left to Junpei, left to try to find the scraps. Will find the knot, but that is a delayed wipe for I Feel So Sigma, and that might be the killing blow right there. Nautilus does have their special available as well, with the rain to make the situation even worse for I Feel So Sigma, and the players are falling left, right, and center as they try to throw themselves onto the point, but no. North Penn High School will take game 1, and what a back and forth that was up until the very end.
I mean, that came down to one bad team fight. Just really unfortunate positioning for I feel so Sigma that North Penn really took advantage of. They cut. I won't say they made. They took advantage of a couple of. I think it was the decav for I feel so Sigma was kind of a bit too far forward, and they went down. And once one member went down, that kind of let the dominoes all fall down together as I feel so Sigma basically got wiped out there. And by the time they all respawned, the zone had about 3 ticks left, so they had to throw themselves onto the body, but on the zone, but it was way too late.
Yeah, just not enough for them, and we see how North Penn High School likes to play, always fighty, always in your face, and what a map that waits us that could really benefit from their playstyle. Clam Blitz Museum, I mean, always want to be in your face. Now you are no longer restricted to the mid, now you are no longer restricted to a single objective in the middle there. You are now have the ability to freely pop up and take these aggressive sharking fights wherever you want, and it's going to be very interesting to see how I Feel So Sigma likes to counteract this. I mean, we saw some bright spots. I mean, we saw Junpei really dominate with that decav there, getting doubles, triples kills, and I expect that weapon to stay here, especially with having that bubble for Clam.
I mean, we saw in the last set they kept with the bubble with the decav, and it worked out. That's what got them here. But if you're North Penn, okay, I'ma just put a bet. I'm just say this as a fact. They're gonna use that right side flank almost all the time, because it catches their opponent off guard. It makes sure that they can't basically feel safe on their own plat. If they don't use that right side plat, I will eat my words on stream, because it'll be really, really helpful for them.
Yeah, just being able to disorientate any moment of Bake really trying to create any space. We're seeing actually a double sword setup here coming out for I Feel So Sigma, so trying to change things up a little bit, trying to play a similar aggressive comp and trying to meet what North Penn High School is doing here. Let's see if it works out for them, as we see here, just trying to see if either team can find that opening pick. The cooler will be placed from I Feel So Sigma. Conversely, on the same note, another cooler being placed on the other side, so now a lot of neutral here just to try to find an opening.
I mean, I expect a lot of fights, as there's 1, there's 2, going down 5 for Sigma, there's 3, Koya with 7 claims, Bake is gonna respawn or jump out there and be in good position. They are gonna get 1 Junpei with the bubble, able to play some solid defense, making the members of North Penn jump out. Urge there with the Stamper, able to scare the members of North Penn a little bit. Junpei jumping out again. People are jumping out. They must love flying. As Urge jumps out again, and Junpei, the members of I Feel So Sigma on the plat, however, with no claims to follow up with. It's just being aggressive.
I like how North Penn is playing, though. They will pop the barrier of it and actually get another ball in there. Now down to the 60-point mark. It is just left to Bake on I Feel So Sigma to try to stop the bleeding a little bit. Another jump will come in to add more clams, and more clams are falling in from Kaya as well. Ultra Jeff has 4 clams to their game. They have Stamp available to try to make something happen. There is the Stamp right there, trying to scare Bake away. Will not quite find the pick and will go down themselves to Junpei. But what a great initial push here. We saw North Penn go off to an early lead in terms of kills there. They did initially get 2 picks, but I like how they're playing here. Controlled aggression. It isn't just Unga Bunga rush in when you see a lead change. They saw that they lost 1 player, so they recollected themselves, jumped out, and were able to hit right back and go in eventually for that push.
I mean, they're going in again as Sigma goes 2 down again. Koya does have another ball at the ready with quite a bit of follow-up. The zip catchers are going to be used, not able to get a pick onto Koya. Jeff, though, with a couple of clams, gets not able to quite get through the penalty. So that will give I Feel So Sigma another power clam. But with how dominant North Penn has been looking, that might not really matter, because for the most part, it's been really, really hard for I Feel So Sigma to get back onto plat. And there's Jeff with the hammer, able to cancel that crab, and was immediately Titan, though, escapes with their life. Not able to find a pick onto Jeff just about, but just scaring them away.
Jeff is so slippery on that sploosh, staying alive through all of it. Eventually will get taken out. Junpei will find one, will get quickly traded out, and now North Penn now on the back foot. 3 players are down. It's just left to that Knot, and that Knot is being chased down by the Zipcaster. Trying to find a pick here is Scrunch, just trying to find a pick and not being able to quite really distract anybody, but will actually scout out a little bit to see what they had, and what they see is an onslaught of North Penn, who are able to strike right back and now knocking at the doorstep of I Feel So Sigma yet again.
I feel like this has been the storyline of this entire game. It's just been I Feel So Sigma tries to do something, they get canceled immediately, and then North Penn just is there. they're just there on plat, making so that I Feel So Sigma can't really get anything going. As Koya does have a ball, unfortunately for them, not able to get close to the basket. They're gonna go down. The hammer is gonna get shut down. No, the power is gonna miss just barely, and I Feel So Sigma again with a solid defense. But I think the problem is they haven't really been able to translate this into offense, or more specifically, they haven't had the time to. As Jeff with a hammer triple with a flank, and if you're I Feel So Sigma, that's gotta hurt, because you know the scoring is gonna keep on going.
North Penn are not taking their foot off of the gas. They're going all in, but eventually I Feel So Sigma will find the favors turn in their favor, as they will get a wipeout. They will now have an opportunity to try to push in, but the time is very limited and a lead is so large here. Junpei will try to initiate the push. A ball will be had, but one more clam needs to be added to Junpei's pocket there to really get a push going, but no, they will get shut down. I Feel So Sigma won't find much from that push, or at least we'll chunk it down a little bit, but nearing overtime, another great push will have to be had, but that is not looking to be the case as North Penn try to make this 2-0.
I mean, at first, they just need a ball. They only have one clam to their entire family's name. So they really need to get something. Oh, wait, no, they do have the pity. They do have the pity clam. So that is something to help. But now that we're in overtime, they have a minute to get to the enemy side and get a really strong push. But North Penn not looking to let them do that, as that's another 2 down for I Feel So Sigma. Time's winding down. There it is. No one in sight. The power is going to disappear, and North Penn High School looking very, very strong, only allowing I Feel So Sigma to score in the last about a minute of the game.
North Penn High School are trying to do better than they did in winners bracket finals here, trying to go for the sweep, and they only have one more game. They only need one more game to do it here. Now, if you take a look at I Feel So Sigma, they're on the back foot now. They have to really figure out what's going on here. I mean, the aggression that we've seen constantly, time and time again, and mostly unchecked aggression from North Penn High School, have really pushed themselves to the spot where they are now. I mean, you see the constant basket opening, the initial push to knock it down to 42, and yet again, the constant pressure from Enraged Jeff, from these other players with their specials, have been so dominant in continuing to make their presence well known. But if there is a map to do it, it needs to happen now, as game number 3, Tower Control Hagglefish Market, awaits us.
I mean, this can go either way, like, really, because the mode itself is more favored towards I Feel So Sigma, with the pencil, with the bubble, with that more defensive play. Also, nice triple there by Jeff. I know we pointed out, but like, really good triple there. But anyways, the mode itself is much more favorite into I Feel So Sigma's comp, but the map is again very, very fight heavy. You can move around a lot, so it's kind of North Penn's comp, or North Penn favorite in that sense. So I feel like if North Penn can get into the enemy base, or get into I Feel So Sigma's base, it'll be incredibly difficult for them to get out, basically.
I mean, we saw elements of it in the winners brackets when they were playing against each other in Mahi Mahi. I mean, we saw North Penn continuously push up into those higher elevations, into the side of I Feel So Sigma. So I see what you're saying there, and I think that I agree 100%. I mean, North Penn have a vision, they know how to play, and I'm sure I Feel So Sigma knows what they need to do. They know what they need to counter. It's just, can they execute on it? That is the major question here. And now potentially looking at this being the final game, you get the feeling that maybe I Feel So Sigma might want to start actually changing some weapons. I mean, we saw a little bit of a hint of it right there. I mean, Junpei being on that decaf, yeah, for sure, we've seen that happen, but now we also saw the double Splatana there, as we saw a Splatana as well, so maybe a potential change could be had here, but I'm not sure here. But this is all just speculation. Potential last game if you are in favor of Penn High School. But let's see what they bring out. We see the blaster coming out from, I forget who that is that's on that blaster, but I Feel So Sigma will be running that blaster. Yeah, Scourge will be running that blaster there. And on the other side, a little bit of a change, actually. We do see the Tri-Slosher.
I mean, yeah, I understand Tri-Slosher is pretty good. This map is very, very flat, as we all know, because it is Hagglefish Market. But I Feel So Sigma will strike first. Bake on the tower will get to that first checkpoint rather uncontested. Only a couple of flanks to watch out for, and I Feel So Sigma is going to at least get partway through before going 3 down. And now North Penn High School with an opportunity here to get something going, because they do have that jet. There is the jet. They do have the Zuka at the ready, so a lot of damage could be done here.
Yeah, and just like that, North Penn are back in the driver's seat here, trying to get their own first checkpoint, as I Feel So Sigma were just barely unable to get it. Junpei just making sure that Enzab plays Dance Dance Revolution on the tower right there for their life. Actually, we'll find 2 with that, and the jump as well. Lag switch on that Tri-Slosher, just trying to make something happen, but eventually they're getting converged on by members of I Feel So Sigma, but still managing to stay alive throughout this, trying to go for a cheeky little flank on the left side, but will get quickly taken down. Now the tower reset back to mid. A lot of just neutral here, trying to find an opportunity and just trying to clean up, as I Feel So Sigma are still dealing with these players here and there from North Penn High School. I mean,
the North Penn players are just right behind them, Wines and Roses, with a nice double kill and a cooler pop. So now this is where the dam might start to leak if you're I Feel So Sigma, because there's a lot of specials on the side of North Penn. They do have the Whale, they do have the Zuka, they do have the Jet, so we can see a lot happen. Scourge there just dancing around, unfortunately is gonna go down. There's the Inkjet being popped, causing mayhem in the base of I Feel So Sigma. That's gonna be 2 down for them. North Penn looking super, super strong. Unfortunately for them, tower will go down before they get that second checkpoint. But talk about a swing for North Penn, getting down to 32.
And here's the funny thing, we're not even halfway yet. We're almost halfway, and yet I Feel So Sigma have not yet been able to get past that first checkpoint, just because of how well North Penn High School have been able to continue putting the pressure on them, getting these flanks like you mentioned. And yet again already, we're seeing 2 players from I Feel So Sigma fall in that. The crab is available for them to try to even things up a little bit, as 2 players of North Penn High School themselves go down. So now a little bit of a momentum change. I Feel So Sigma need to develop a push, though, because these flanks and these side routes have been just so deadly for them, being able to counter that Tri-Slosher, though. So now they need to develop a good push of their own.
I mean, okay, I know we didn't see that on stream, but the 52 for North Penn just walked into a triple kill in mid, because everyone from I Feel So Sigma was looking back at the tower, had their backs turned to mid, and that just kept the momentum, or that just killed the momentum for I Feel So Sigma. And like you were talking about earlier, these flanks for North Penn are gold. They've been working out super, super well. They haven't been watched at all by I Feel So Sigma, so they've been able to do it over and over and over again without really being punished for it. So North Penn using the flanks to their advantage, keeping I Feel So Sigma on their toes, making sure they can't really get towards that first checkpoint, because other than that opening where they did get to the first checkpoint, they have yet to be back there.
Call it hidden run tactics, call it guerrilla tactics, whatever it is, it has been working for North Penn. But now I Feel So Sigma have been able to take down 2 members, but lag switch there for the trade onto Junpei. The Cooler is activated for North Penn, so now actually an opportunity for I Feel So Sigma to get back into things. Crab is available, Cooler is available for them, all things are looking great for them, but this part of the map is so hard to get through. Tiny in a great spot with that crab here. Look at where that crab is. It is such an elevated position. We'll find 1, 2 down from both sides now. Actually, the bubble being placed, and players are falling left, right, and center. I Feel So Sigma will eventually lose control of the tower and in a dangerous situation now. 25 seconds nearing, and the lead is so slim now, Topic.
I mean, yeah, if you're I Feel So Sigma, you need to deal with these specials before they get cooler. Because if they get cooler, they can run in and have a lot still to work with. Because there's 3 specials that they're ready. That's one being popped. There's the Jet. Scourge, they're forced to jump away. Unfortunately, jumping into a kill there. And unfortunately for I Feel So Sigma, they're just going to have to go on tower. They're able to. Koya with the flank. The Zuka is going to knock them off of tower. The whale's gonna get it. Scourge, Junpei, and Titan all surrounding it. The bubble's gonna help out. The crab's gonna help out. Though unfortunately for them, the crab's gonna go down. Bake, the last one on tower. The last one remaining. They're gonna get forced. Actually, no, they're still on tower. Koya's gonna go down. And I think I Feel Sigma will hold on. Will bring this back in a very, very close fashion.
It is not over yet. I mean, I saw every player from I Feel So Sigma on the tower. I saw every special come out. I mean, we saw the crab on the tower. We saw the kraken on the tower. That was just absolute chaos in one confined space. And when the dust settled, Bake still remained on the tower. And I Feel So Sigma will take game 3, and they still live to fight another day. Still a momentous hill to climb, but what a comeback for them. I mean, they were able to finally develop a fairly concentrated push because of how North Penn High School liked to play these very sharky, very unpredictable playstyle, but I Feel So Sigma with a great counter forces game 4.
I mean, if you're I Feel So Sigma, that's just the momentum you needed. You won one. Okay, now we gotta focus on this game because they've shown that yes, they can compete with North Penn. This game in particular showed that it was neck and neck until the very, very end. It really, it was just like I said earlier. It came down to one team fight. It came down to Bake just staying alive on tower, not being dealt with quick enough by Penn nor North Penn. So that kind of decided the game as North Penn, they're looking to end this right here, right now on game number 4, Splat Zones Mako Mart.
I mean, we've seen how, usually we talk about the dominance of how I Feel Sigma is on zones, but so far North Penn have been able to even things up with their zones. I mean, previously they won on Mahi Mahi, now they went on Robo Ramen in this set, and now we're looking at yet again another zones match. It is all up for grabs now. Can I Feel So Sigma find that shine? Can they find that magic that works with them? They will stick with the same comp, which what worked with them previously. I don't mind that at all. Same thing coming out from North Penn as well. We are running the same comps back from game number 3 on Mako Mart zones. Let's see what waits for us.
I mean, I expect the aggression from North Penn. That's exactly what they're going to do. But Junpei, with a quick one, unfortunately, is going to go down themselves. And just, like we said earlier, a lot of fighting. So I Feel So Sigma is to be the first ones to cap zone and force North Penn back. It's going to work. As another member is going to go down, lag switch there on the right side of your screen. Unfortunately, it's going to go down. No, they're not. Okay, yes, they are eventually. But I Feel So Sigma looking to hold on. Unfortunately, after a pretty good push, they're going to lose the control.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to get control on there down to the 66-point mark. Not bad at all, but still, the mid of this map is all purple there. But actually, 3 players go down for North Penn there in quick succession. A quick double on the right side and a camp Camp's jump from that Kraken will allow I Feel So Sigma to hold on to that 1-point lead. They work now to try to get past that penalty here as North Penn tries to jump onto the point to make sure that doesn't happen, but it is looking very hard to hold on. Junpei will take a 1-for-1 trade. The Zuka being popped there initially. The Crab is available and is being popped right now for time. Just trying to be a hamster ball in middle, trying to stay alive a little bit, but eventually North Penn will take the zone.
I mean, they're going to take the zone in North Penn, trying to do what they can, but they're trying to take the space ahead of it. They are able to get 3 down for I Feel So Sigma. Titan, the last one left, going to win that 1v1 against Koya, getting another one against the 52 player, allowing I Feel So Sigma to be able to recap the zone relatively easily. So, again, very, very back and forth game. I think we've hardly seen either team be 4 up for too long because there's been a lot of fighting here.
I mean, so much on the line for both teams, obviously, in Grand Finals, but not only that, another potential last game if you're on the side of I Feel So Sigma. So Brooks pulling out all the stops here, but North Penn will almost take the zone here. I Feel So Sigma need to paint the zone. No, they will lose the lead there here, and now they will eventually take the point as 2 players fall for North Penn. Crab is available, Kraken is available for I Feel So Sigma, and the penalty is not high at all. However, the jetpack looms over them, so does this killer whale. We're seeing these 2 special combinations coming out from both sides, trying to find a opening pick, and so far it is in favor of North Penn as I Feel So Sigma just left down to their blaster. It is a delayed wipe for I Feel So Sigma. Now, North Penn, this is where they're dangerous. They are going so far into I Feel So Sigma's side of the map.
I mean, at this point, you kind of have to because we've seen how back and forth these fights have been. So if you give your opponent too much space to work with, it could be very, very dangerous. Though Junpei, nice kill there. Unfortunately, the Pental is going to go down. Junpei is going to go down. The bubble will be popped. So that'll be a quick shred. Though the Kraken trying to find for a pick, they're going to go down as well. North Penn with about 15 ticks left to go. I Feel So Sigma just kind of has to throw bodies at the zone to try to stop it. Unfortunately, they're going to be a bit too far away, and it took a little longer than they would have liked, but North Penn High School will win the game. That will give them the set, and that will give them the win over Prism Break 11.
Congratulations to North Penn High School. I mean, we saw a little bit of deja vu happen from Winners Bracket Finals. They win over I Feel So Sigma 3-1 here, but I Feel So Sigma showed such a fight throughout. I mean, that shocking game 3 near the tail end and the nail biter. Same thing in game number 4. It was looking very even from the start, but eventually North Penn High School were able to pull away, say that's it is wraps now, let's go to bed after this win, and just like that they were able to win, and GG's to them. I mean, their aggressive playstyle really shined throughout, and what's ultimately was the key to them winning this entire tournament.
I mean, yeah, at times they did get punished, especially in that second game. They did get punished for being a bit too aggressive with really big counter pushes from I Feel So Sigma, but they were able to collect themselves and come back with really big counter pushes. And then this game, which is a lot of back and forth, I think both of these teams had control of zones for a long while. There were a bunch of times where the zone was just neutral. It was just neither team wanted the other to get a big lead, and unfortunately for I Feel So Sigma, North Penn, they won one team fight, and that snowballed the rest of the game.
Yeah, GG's North Penn. Congratulations on winning Prism Break number 11, but we are winding down near the end of this stream. So Topic, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me over on Twitter and Blue Sky at Topical2. You can see where I'm commentating next. You can also hear me scream because Rocket, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if you're a fan, they just announced a Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, so I'm freaking out over that over on Twitter. You can find me on Discord at Topic2, and that's it for me. Rocket, what about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at rocket_splat. I'll be tweeting where I'm commentating or some random funny shenanigans. You can find me on Discord at RocketY. But yeah, that will just about do it for us. Topic, I'm pretty sure you know what's gonna happen next, so take it away.
Yep. With that, it's been fun with all of y'all, and I'll see y'all next week, and of course, remember, never stop disturbing the peace.